welcome to another episode of our Kinky Kindles, the podcast where we worry about the right holes. Man, I butchered that. That was my bad.
No, that was my giggling. 100%. We had a little bit of some audio trouble that we troubleshooted. We troubleshat before we began this morning, and so
yeah, we're working through crunchy mic situations. We're gonna solve it one day.
Yeah, we sure are. And you know what, y'all? If rookie podcasters can figure out the AV world, then there's hope for us all. We're doing.
And if you have tips, please email us at ourkinkykindlespod@gmail.com, because you know what I'm tired of doing? I'm tired of Googling things. I just want someone to tell me what to do.
Yeah, if someone could just give us a detailed rundown of exactly how to do this, that's probably, that would be helpful, y'all.
Yeah.
But you have done a beautiful job figuring out a lot of this audio stuff.
Well, it helps when there are videos on the internet that tell you exactly what you're supposed to do.
How was your week, Kay?
It was good. I'm not doing a whole lot of anything, really.
A whole bunch of nothing?
It's great. I'm so good at doing absolutely nothing.
It is a skill set that I envy. You are such what a gift that you have summers off. You're an honorable recipient of this gift.
Yes, it is a gift.
There's a real trade-off here. Capitalism.
It's intensive work for most of the year, and then a short break in the hot months.
The hot months.
Yeah.
Yes, a sweet summer child.
Yeah, I am a sweet summer child. I spent about 6 hours in the sun yesterday.
Yes.
And I'm only a little burned, which is, I'm gonna get too confident, I think.
You really are. You're gonna fly actually too close to the sun.
Yeah.
And things get
absolutely fried.
You're gonna be a crispy little hot tamale for our beach trip.
In my head, I'm preparing my skin to be exposed to the sun, even though I know that's not how it works.
Yeah, you did say those words yesterday, and I thought, okay. So I just let you do it. I just said,
I reapplied sunscreen. It's fine.
Beautiful. Well, I do. Yeah, your partner is a sunscreen. What's a word other than Nazi? Militant. He is a militant sunscreener.
I think it's because he doesn't want to deal with me complaining about being burned, and he's like, look, we can prevent this by doing this.
It's as if this is a preventable problem. Yeah, well, we had a lovely hangout time yesterday because my partner and I got on our boat that we've never mentioned.
The boat that I specifically said not to mention again.
No, you said it within the context of talking about having sexual relations on the boat. But just talking about the boat is not hurting anyone.
No.
So we just puttered along our beautiful lake part of town and just puttered along the water to where you and A were hanging out.
Yeah, they rolled up a precious little video of A swinging
the
buoys over her head.
Yes, it was a magical. We are really hitting in our region of the country. We are hitting like it's not super super hot yet, although I'm not complaining. I do love super hot weather, but like a crazy person. But it's like just right. Yeah, it's kind of chilly in the mornings here right now because we got that mountain air coming in the morning. But then by the afternoon, it's like 80s, like low mid 80s and sunny. It's perfect. Like even yesterday when we were at the lake before y'all got there, it was like pushing like upper 70s maybe, and it was like almost too cold to get in the water. Yes, seriously.
But by the time like 2-3 o'clock rolls around, it's like ideal lake weather.
Yes, it gets tricky like dead of summer whenever it's so hot. Like you get out to dry off and like you just want to get right back in the water.
Yeah, when it gets to be like 90 degrees at noon and everyone's dying.
And it's a specific climate here that we enjoy. We love it.
That hot summer climate.
It is like that here. It is like that many places, but especially here. That reminds me of the show that I was telling you about the other day, but our listeners might be interested in as well. It is called The Lake on Amazon Prime. And y'all, it is the stuff of young adult dreams. It is adorable. It is full of all kinds of malarkey and romance and intrigue, and it's all set on the lake.
I love it. I'm gonna watch it. I love a good YA moment.
Yes.
We were talking about The Summer I Turned Pretty that we both just like gobbled up cake last summer when we were watching it. So good. And the new season's coming out in July.
Oh my God.
So maybe we'll do a special episode on The Summer I Turned Pretty.
That would be so fun. I feel like the older I get, the more content like that I want.
Yeah.
I want fluff. Although...
Fluff that involves Taylor Swift.
Preferably. Yes.
Yeah, and y'all can chime in if you're Team Jeremiah or Team Conrad.
Yeah, that's a real...
It's controversial. So... We didn't read the books, and I'm sorry about that.
Oh, yeah.
But we
if
are
y'all
also
have read the books. Should we? Should we read them?
We could read them. I think they missed us because we were sort of past YA.
Sure.
We had
already turned pretty.
Yeah. We're in the like John Green era of YA novels, like that. They were coming out as we were teens, so that's how old we are. So we obviously missed The Summer I Turned Pretty, and I know that the show version of Conrad is different than the book version of Conrad.
I wonder how.
Even as someone who loves sad boys, I was like, what is he? First of all, he's not that hot to me.
I know. He's not my type on many levels.
Yes.
Jeremiah is 100%.
Yeah, I was so Team Jeremiah, which is, I was saying yesterday, like, that's not my thing usually. He's so like bouncy and happy and adjusted and fine,
kind and balanced, and loving. What on earth?
You know, we did talk about like he has experiences some sexual fluidity, and that's probably what attracted me. Adorable. You know, the security of you know, a man who is not bothered by being
toxic.
with women. Yeah,
not threatened.
Yeah.
Jeremiah is 100% my type, my energy. I loved how it just goes to show how we think that we love one thing. You know, she's like, Conrad is everything. And then lo and behold, maybe what she wanted, Jeremiah, was under her nose the whole time.
I know. I felt like when I was watching it, I was like, am I too old for this show? Because I was like, he's kind of an asshole. And like, so why do you want to be with him?
Oh, yeah.
But then... So, like, the scene at, like, whatever, the debutante, whatever it is.
Yeah, the cotillion.
Yeah. And they played this song, That's the Way I Loved You, as they're, like, walking. It's like, I miss screaming and fighting and kissing in the rain. And, like, I was like, okay, I get it. That's, yep, I understand this. I was like, okay,
You're like, nope, not too old.
I was like, I can get on board. I understand. If you put Taylor Swift in the context of it, I'm like, yes, I have figured it out.
I all of a sudden resonate deeply with whatever this is. There are Taylor Swift lyrics attached. Yeah, I had, you know, a non-traditional, well, traditional in some senses, but I did not grow up like the rest of us. And so it's been really fun to dive into some of the YA, like, teen stuff. Because it can still capture that giddy, like, playful crush energy. Like, I mean, I had crushes. It was just, you know, courtship oriented. And so it was not quite the same, but it is so fun to watch and kind of vicariously live through these teens.
Oh, yes.
And get caught in the drama with them, and, you know, fictional or real. It brings me a lot of joy.
Yes, and it's really fun to, you know, it's like entertain stuff.
It's entertain healing, exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel that with The Lake. And I also love To All the Boys I've Loved Before.
Oh, yes. And I have read those books.
Oh, you've read the books?
Are good, yeah.
Okay, well, maybe that's... H last week was talking about American Royals, which I think is a similar...
Yeah.
Maybe we could do like a little YA. A little YA series, like, you know, recap our favorites.
Yeah.
It could be fun.
To All the Boys is so good.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I really liked it.
I love, what's his name, Noah Centineo. Oh my God.
He is very your type.
Now, he is my type, but he has dark hair.
Yeah, but he's so square. He's extremely
very square.
Like a rectangular shaped human.
I really like him.
I don't dislike him. I mean, I obviously liked him in the show, but
yeah.
It's kind of the way I feel about Jacob Elordi, the guy from Euphoria.
See, I have not watched Euphoria.
Okay.
I have HBO Max now.
Well, you should watch Euphoria.
Okay.
It was. I mean, it's not YA.
It'll draw me in.
It's not YA in the way that you're thinking.
They are teens.
They are teens, however.
This is not bright and shiny and sunny.
It's nope.
I do love Zendaya.
Oh, she's incredible. Like, I've never seen.
She has her whole career ahead of her. I'm so excited.
Yeah. But he plays this piece of shit character, and I hate that character so much. And like the way that, I mean, he does an incredible job because he's so unlikable. And anytime I like see him being cast in other things, I'm like, ugh,
gross,
get him away from me. Like for a while, they were talking.
Cast type? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, and for a while they were like, oh, people were trying to cast him or like fan cast him as Reese. I was like, absolutely the fuck not.
Oh, you would die.
I could not watch a show.
Who would you cast as Reese?
So, I don't know.
This has occurred to you before.
So, it has occurred to me before, but because I'm old, I want him to be an older man. And he's 500 fucking years old. He cannot be played by a 20-something. It's got to be, like, I'm thinking, like, 30s, maybe even 40s. Like, I want someone, like...
This is a vampire immortal issue. Well, he's high fae, but...
He's high fae. Yeah. But
we're talking about ACOTAR for the uneducated, the uninitiated of us all.
High Lord of the Night Court. I would want him to be played by someone who's like, he's got like dark skin and like, you know, sharp features. I
Noah Centineo.
No, he's too young.
He's adorable.
He's a baby.
He's an angel child.
I just can't.
He's got that boyish look that I like. Is that the lyric? They come from the depths of me.
It's from I Think He Knows, that line.
Yes, it is. Because I've been listening to that all week. I Think He Knows and Death by a Thousand Cuts.
Yeah.
I think that those are so fun.
Oh, he got that boyish look that I like in a man.
Yes!
Yeah.
I won't play it because you accurately remember the lyrics, but I do love a boyish look in a man. I don't know what it is. Now, if he acts like a boy, hell no, but...
Yeah, I don't mind a boyish look. I think that's sweet. But like because he's first of all, because my teenagers think he's so hot, I'm like, it grosses me out a little bit. I'm like, ugh.
Okay. Well,
first of all, he's too old for you, 16-year-old child. I know. And he's too young for me. So we're in this weird spot.
So he's a real off limits. Okay. Yeah, maybe the listeners have some ideas about... I'm sure that the internet is full of folks voting on...
I see so many people fan cast the whole... Like, all the bad boys. And, like, the ones I've seen for Cassian, I've, like... He's such a specific type of man, like a Jason Momoa, like a big guy with long hair. There's a lot of guys who can play that, and I would be fine with any of them.
Well, could he be Aquaman? Could Aquaman be Rhysand?
No, Rhysand doesn't have long hair. And Cassian has like a more rugged look about him. Rhysand's very like clean.
Okay.
Clean cut, put together. Like, he's very lordly. You don't know. You haven't read the book yet. You don't know anything.
You know what? Here's get so defensive about Reese. There's a real protective energy. It entertains me greatly.
I love him forever.
Oh no, I feel that.
That is at least until I read Azrael's book, which who knows when that's coming.
Yeah. I mean,
Azrael is really my type. Dark and scary sad boy, but we don't know enough about him yet.
We need more information. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you're going to withhold, who you're going to commit the rest of your fictional love life to until you have more information.
Until I get to read Azrael's book, who SJM has said herself that he's the dirtiest of the three.
Oh my god.
Hey.
that is the vibe. Yeah, I am a percentage, an unknown percentage of the way through ACMAF.
You're past the wedding.
Sure. Yeah. No, I'm getting it. I'm like, oh.
But a lot of spicy banter.
Exactly. We are, you heard it here last week, folks. H is going to review ACMAF with us. Well, this week was my first official foray into hockey romances.
We have baptized her into the way of hockey smut.
I am a hockey smut believer now. I think.
Well, no, Right Man, Right Time was hockey-ish. I mean, he played hockey.
True, good point. This is a whole culture. This is a whole, and maybe growing up in the South, I know people play hockey here, but not to this extent.
No.
So this is something I'm really, this is educational.
It is, and I love that at the beginning of this book that the author has written a little foreword that says, hey, I don't know shit about hockey. So some of the stuff might not be accurate, but...
I don't know shit about hockey.
It's not exactly what it says, but it's like, look, I did some research, I did my best, but if there's something wrong, I'm not claiming to be a hockey expert here.
It's really not the point.
We're not here for hockey facts.
Dear God, we are not here for hockey accuracy. We're here for a different kind of accuracy.
And it's perfect for girlies like us who, you know, I enjoy hockey. We've got a local hockey team here that we occasionally...
Would that be minor league? Is that what it's called?
It's not the NHL. It's the whatever the... It's, you know how, like...
It's really not.
There's Major League and Minor League Baseball. It's like the Minor League Baseball of hockey.
Yeah, whatever that would be.
Don't know what that's called.
We probably have some rabid hockey fans who are listeners, and they're going to be appalled by our lack of knowledge. But it's really just regional.
It's regional, and you don't understand, like...
Football.
Right.
It's football here.
Yeah, we're a football-centered area. I have spent my entire life learning the rules of football, and I simply cannot learn any more rules.
So, yeah, for the listeners, many a football game at this point have I watched with Kay, and both of our partners will sit there, and Kay will know far more than both of them combined. Certainly more than I. But
it's the curse of having two brothers who were very obsessed with any sport in the entire world.
Sure.
And so I never had any control over what was on the TV, and so it was always ESPN. And I was like, well, I'm going to have to fucking learn how to enjoy this.
Yeah.
So I was like, you're going to have to tell me exactly what's going on so I can play. I want to be a part of it.
And you became a part of it.
Yeah.
And so you appreciate being passionate about a sport. You appreciate the journey, the love. So maybe that's why you're drawn to some of these, because you've read some of the baseball series too.
I've actually read a lot of sports. I love a good sports romance.
Yes.
I've learned this about myself. I've read a couple football. I've read a lot of baseball. I like baseball guys. They're not giant, but they all have huge asses.
They have their tight little baseball boy pants. Would we say in the world of smut that hockey is the most popular sports romance genre at the moment? Especially
currently, for sure. I think it has, because hockey, the nature of hockey, fighting is like part of the sport.
Yeah.
And so it's good opportunity for the other team to mouth off about the female main character and for the male main character to engage in a fight to protect his person.
Yes.
So I think that is probably part of the reason why the girlies are so into the hockey boys.
There's a real opportunity here that I don't know if the developers of the sport of hockey were aware of at the time.
Oh, they know now.
But this is the subject of hockey and hockey players is rife for the smut. It is just it's perfect environment.
Yeah. And hockey teams have discovered that the girlies are into the sport now. I've seen so many TikToks of like BookTok girlies just like going to hockey games, like trying to look mysterious and like just like looking for my husband.
Just
like getting really dressed up, looking super hot to go to a hockey game that's like definitely 30 degrees inside.
Oh yeah, and the hockey boys are not looking at you.
They're so busy doing their jobs,
and they're covered in so much equipment. Like no, they're doing their jobs, but you just go right ahead.
I love it.
That's adorable. Yeah, it is. I saw was it Tessa Bailey had a TikTok lately where somebody had asked her for a hockey romance.
She's writing one. She said that she was.
Yes, and then she was like, I hope y'all still, or she was like, y'all better still love hockey romances by the time I get this published.
Oh, we will. I'm going to read it, obviously.
Oh, yeah. I love a Tessa moment. But this is by Hannah Grace.
Yes. This is Icebreaker, the TikTok sensation.
Oh, my God.
Icebreaker. We're talking about at lunch that, as we were reading it, we make highlights and we make notes. That pretty much every chapter has, like, a suggested highlight that's, like, 10,000 other people have highlighted. Like,
yes.
So many people have read this book. And for good reason. Like, this is a perfect balance of plot and smut. There's a shit ton of smut in this book, but there's also like a really engaging plot.
Truly. Yeah, the plot, I was kind of amazed and drawn in. I was not expecting this to be the best of both worlds. I see why you've recommended it.
Yes. And I also am a big fan of Nathan Hawkins, our main character. He is like,
oh my God.
He is like the ideal. There's even like a joke later, like I think towards the end of the book, that's like, he's doing this because he was written by a woman. It's like, yeah.
Oh, 100%.
It's very clear.
It's as if he's a man written by a woman.
Yeah. And man, if you have a praise kink, this book is for you.
Truly.
So much praise in this book.
So much praise, so much competence, so much integrity.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's up there. He's up there for the real winners of male leads that we've read.
I mean, we'll break him down later, but
dear God.
he could, if he put him and Brendan in the ring together.
In the rink, perhaps.
Oh, well, in the rink. Brendan's not one.
Different, yeah. Maybe they could fight on the water and then fight on the ice.
On the boat and then on the ice.
Exactly.
All right, A, give us that synopsis.
I got you. Okay, Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. Anastasia Allen has worked her entire life for a shot at Team USA, a competitive figure skater since she was 5 years old, a full college scholarship thanks to her place on the Maple Hills skating team, and a schedule that would make even the most driven person weep. Stassi comes to win. No exceptions. Nathan Hawkins has never had a problem he couldn't solve. As captain of the Maple Hills Titans, he knows the responsibility of keeping the hockey team on the ice. He knows that the responsibility of keeping the hockey team on the ice rests on his shoulders. God.
The burden of responsibility.
The burden of maturity and responsibility and leadership.
I
have the most boring kinks of all the kinks.
A competence kink.
I mean,
a leader. Someone who takes responsibility.
Because it allows me to not.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real hot thing. As captain of the Maple Hills Titans, blah, blah, blah. Yes, responsibility. Yes. Check mark.
Yes.
When a misunderstanding results in the two teams sharing a rink and Anastasia's partner gets hurt in the aftermath, Nate finds himself swapping his sticks for tights. And one scary coach for an even scarier one. The pair finds themselves stuck together in more ways than one. But it's fine, because Anastasia doesn't even like hockey players, right?
Mm-hmm.
Adorable.
Yes. This book, I'll give you some tropes, and then I'm going to throw some trigger warnings at you. Want to make sure you're informed. So this is an enemies to lovers, forced proximity, hockey, romance, and there's a little bit of a forbidden situation going on. Mm-hmm. We get some good smut in the beginning of the book, and then Hannah Grace takes it away for a little while, which is a good little twist, and it's really fun. Also, if you are sensitive to disordered eating, and
toxic relationship dynamics,
narcissistic tendencies,
narcissistic abuse, there's some parent-child challenges, and I just saw another one on her article.
So there's one forced kiss at the end of the book, but it doesn't go further than that, and it is resolved very, very quickly.
Yeah, it's handled beautifully.
Yes. So that's your informed consent, your trigger warnings. If that bothers you, take her out.
Sure.
Do what's right for you. The disordered eating stuff is present. It's not a ton, but it's very present, and it is one of the themes of the book. So.
And again, I feel like sometimes authors and different content, they can include activating material that's upsetting, and then they can mishandle it, mm-hmm. and then it never gets resolved, or it's just poorly explained or poorly managed. And I do feel like Hannah Grace includes some tough subjects, but is able to navigate healthy dynamics, not necessarily a happy ending, but kind of a happy ending for each of these. It's resolved is what I'm saying.
Yes, it gets resolved. And mental health is very present in this book. Anastasia goes to therapy. She has been in therapy for years. She's a big advocate for therapy. So there's some good stuff in here. But I just wanted to let you all know, because I know food and eating stuff is hard.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
so that's the beauty of, listening to people who care. And we'll let you know. We'll let you know.
Yeah. All right. So A's going to carry the first half of this book.
Yes.
I might throw in some stuff if I feel like I have something good to say. But she's gonna carry her first half. So hit me with your first note.
So sometimes whenever I see that multiple people have highlighted something, I'm like, okay, well, cool. I'm glad that y'all, whatever, are into that. But that didn't stand out to me. I feel like in this book, when it was like a community highlight situation, it was like...
I was also highlighting.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it felt like 10,000 other people were agreeing with me that like, yes, this is a great point, or like, this is funny, or this is hot, or it was sweet. I enjoyed kind of the community aspect of it. But so this is chapter, pages are made up and points don't matter. We're all the way to chapter 3 when, it was kind of world building in the first couple chapters. But so Anastasia is friends with benefiting with Ryan.
Love Ryan.
Rothwell. Oh my God. Ryan is the least toxic, most
He's
wonderful.
Great. He's hot too.
He's so hot. Yes.
And there's no like comparing like him versus Nathan. It's like
That's
Ryan's
true.
good in bed and so isn't like they're both equally good.
If she could have his body as wallpaper, she would wallpaper her entire bedroom. That is a snippet from the book. But Ryan is wonderful. It's no jealousy type of thing, but they've definitely been sleeping together in the first part of the book. But she is talking about, or maybe they're at food. Oh, he's trying to sneak her some snacks.
I highlighted the same exact thing.
Very
that you
good.
highlighted.
Very good. Trying to sneak her some snacks. And they've been called into a meeting with the athletic director, coach or something. And he's like giving her a cookie or chips. And she says, no, thank you. I'm not hungry. And then she's like, don't look at me like that. Regionals are right around the corner. I can't gain weight. And then Ryan says, as someone who throws you around quite a lot, I feel like I'm qualified to say this. If that jackass isn't able to cope if your weight fluctuates a few pounds, which is perfectly normal, by the way, he shouldn't be your partner.
That's exactly right.
My note was, yes.
Yeah. I said, that's exactly right.
Yeah. Like, so he that he's referring to, the jackass that he's referring to is Aaron, who is her skating partner. And this is a theme kind of throughout, but oh my God, the control in food.
Yeah, so Aaron is extremely toxic, and I'm sure we'll get into it more the more we get to know Aaron, but it's very common that he makes comments about her weight going up and down and his inability to lift her, because part of figure skating is that he does have to lift her over his head.
So there's a grain of truth. There's a grain of, it feels like he can be able to say, because
to her it's like, oh, he has to be able to pick me up. So if I gain any weight, it's dangerous for me and for him.
That's manipulation.
That's not true.
That's manipulation at its core. Is there's enough plausibility to it that it's oh, okay.
It's how much can I feed into this teeny tiny grain of truth to make you believe that what I'm saying is true? That's gaslighting.
We call it gaslighting and manipulation. Because, it's there's enough, it's going to prey on her vulnerabilities. That's literally what it is. And, a lot of folks, not just limited to female identified folks, but a lot of us struggle with body image and food intake. And it's already a loaded situation. So, oh my God. But the star of this quote is Ryan. And how Ryan just immediately calls it out and is no.
Your weight fluctuating is extremely normal, especially in people who have female bodies.
Yes.
And our hormones alone make our weight fluctuate.
Yeah, week to week, month to month, much less but especially athletes too, who are training, sometimes they're training harder than others.
Yeah, it's seasonal trainings where it's there are some seasons where you're building up muscle and bulking and gaining some weight, and then there are seasons where you're off when you're losing weight and
Yes. Our bodies are meant to ebb and flow. The health and fitness industry is geared often towards men and male bodies and just it's supposed to be like this. And yeah, sometimes some folks' bodies are more steady and stable, and the female body's not one of those bodies.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
And it's good to have friends that they'll check in with you in that way.
A friend
yeah. Well, so when we were in Nashville, I have anxious tendencies. I don't know if you could tell from the everything about me. And so sometimes when I'm feeling anxiety, like my appetite gets suppressed, which is very normal.
Sure.
And so we were at brunch and like I was trying to eat, but like my body was like, we can't eat. We're in danger. And so A was like, you need to eat. Are you okay? And I was like, so A was she was very cognizant of, wanting to make sure that I was putting food in my body in the way that I was supposed to.
And the thing about anxiety, folks, is that if you are activated and you're anxious and then you're not eating, you know what's going to get worse.
Yeah.
Is your feelings of anxiety. Your emotional and physical experience of anxiety is going to exponentially get worse if you're also starving.
Right.
Which is hard because then sometimes you don't know what you can eat and it gets so tricky.
Yeah.
That's why we gotta.
You handled it very well. I mean, you mentioned it. You said, hey, this is not, this is concerning. But then you're like, you're going to work it out. But just so you know.
Yeah. Just so you know, like I'm here to, like, I'm doing a concern. Yeah, like the last thing folks need is like more shame or condemnation. Yeah. Like it's not helpful.
Yeah.
Just like a little check-in. Just like, hey, have you had food?
Yeah. So make sure you're checking in with your friends, or if your friends are checking on you, it's because they care about you.
Yeah. And again, I mean, of all the things, we need more people telling people to eat more. Dear God.
That's right.
Eat more food. And you're hearing it today here, folks. Eat food. Nourish your bodies.
Yeah. Right now. Go get yourself a snack.
Get yourself a sneaky
Something
snack.
with carbs in it.
Yes. Fuel your body. Still chapter 3. It is further into the chapter. This is after the was it the athletic director? I think Mr. Faulkner. Hollered at them all. And now Anastasia is talking to her coach. And she's like, oh my God, this is terrible. And then she looks over, and I have highlighted, it's Mr. Sympathy, still sporting, you guessed it, a pity pout. This is her, and she's looking over there. And then he says, listen, I'm sorry. I know this sucks for all of us. I'm going to do what I can to make this as easy as possible. And so my note was, because Mr. Sympathy, I'm like trying to feel out like who is going to, because it's not Ryan that's friends with benefits. Yeah. It's not Aaron. They're not together. And then I put, or perhaps this is empathy and could be our male lead.
That's right. He lets go of my arm and takes a step back, giving me the chance to look at him up close for the first time. He towers over me like at least a foot, broad shoulders, thick muscles straining against the sleeves of his Henley.
100%.
That's our boy.
That's our boy. Dear God.
You can see the sharpness of his jawline.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. He immediately, I also loved the perspective there that Hannah Grace did of Anastasia misinterpreting his, kindness and integrity and presence of mind and maturity. She misinterprets it as being toxic and, like he's pitying me.
Yeah.
And it's like, maybe you have just been spending a lot of time with someone who's really toxic.
Yeah, someone who's warping your sense of view of the world.
Yes, because it really does fuck with you. And maybe you're not able to accurately discern that, hey, no, this is a healthy person who's genuinely taking responsibility and saying that he wants to help you.
Yeah.
So good.
Love Nathan.
Nathan, we love him. My next highlight is at the end of this chapter, and so Anastasia's wrapping up, and Aaron says, are you coming? He snaps. Nodding, I take one last look at my rink friend, talking about our guy Nate. He doesn't bother introducing himself to Aaron. Instead, he mouths, remember the party, to me. And then she says to herself, God, Lola is going to love all this drama. My highlight is, let me tell you, I am Lola. I am the friend. I want to come to your mind when there's drama.
Absolutely.
It is my love language that if shit is going down, low stakes, also if real shit's going down in your life, tell me. I'm obviously a therapist. Like, I handle real shit all the time. But especially if it's just drama. Like H texted me a couple weeks ago and just filled me in on some low stakes bullshit drama between people who are far enough degrees of separation away where it was just, I was hooked.
Oh yeah, tell me everything.
You tell me everything about this. So I think I resonate with Lola.
I love Lola. She's amazing.
Lola, yeah, we've read a few, I can't think of any off the top of my head, but we've read a few like best friend characters who are like, okay, sure, fine. Lola's fun.
She's a badass.
Yeah, Lola's good people. Okay, my next happy little highlight is in chapter 4. This is from Nathan's perspective. And he's seeing Anastasia. She's a funny little thing, immediately sassing me, holding her head high. My note is a fucking insolent woman, obviously.
Fucking insolent woman, yes.
Do we have a type? Do we have a type for our female lead? On the pod?
Is our type fucking insolent women?
Because, like, I'm seeing a pattern. We're
funny.
only reviewing books where she's a fucking insolent woman.
So, yeah, maybe that's our type, or maybe that's just how women in these novels. Yeah, because, you know, like, we're writing, we have men that are written by women. We also have women that are written by women. It's like, hey, I want to fucking be like, I want to be like this girl who is willing to talk shit to the big giant hockey player.
It's a good point. I mean, it makes you wonder. My next highlight is still in chapter 4, and Anastasia is now at the party with, you know, because there's lots of different parties. This is college.
Oh, yeah, this is a college romance. They're like 21, some of them a little younger than 21. Our main characters are 21.
Yes, they are of age. So they're, you know, flirting back and forth. And Anastasia says, I'm immune to hockey player charm. My note is, that's funny. I don't think I am.
I'm very much not.
Like, I don't think I am. Anastasia, I also don't think you are.
I think that you are, but you are not.
Yeah.
As the turntables. We find out very quickly.
Yeah, very. There's some real immediacy with how quickly we discover how not immune she truly is. Okay, our next highlight, chapter 4. I'm just littering them all through. At the very end, she is trying. Our man Nate. Also, side note for this book, so many names, so many characters.
There's a lot of characters. There are a lot of characters.
And
expect you to know who they are.
And look, honestly, I don't need a lot of characters in order to get confused. I can get confused with 2 or 3. It really doesn't require a whole cast of characters in order to do that. But there really is. And so if it sounds like I don't know where I'm at or who I'm talking about, it's because they're the sheer amount of humans.
Yeah, there's like an entire hockey team.
Yes.
There's Anastasia, there's Aaron, there's Lola. And then there's like the other...
Their coaches.
Yeah, Robbie, who's like a coach, who's also their friend. Yeah, there's a lot.
And I know it's because I'm sure she's going to write a series for the rest of them, or one of them's already out. But
it comes out in October.
Nice, okay. It's like anytime there's this much character building for the side characters, I'm like, they're going to build off of this.
Right.
Like, I get where you're going, but it also, that is like one small critique, is that it was hard to discern... Who are the people?
Especially for the first book in the series. It's like you have to introduce every single character that's going to get their own book. Like, I'm sure Henry's going to get his own book. His book is next. I bet... Well, I don't know. JJ probably will. I think JJ's gay, though. Some fluid sexuality maybe there. Because there's, like, a conversation later they have about, like... They go to... Anastasia and Nathan go to a nice restaurant because the... like host there is like really the male host is like really into JJ.
Okay, nice.
And so like I think probably some fluid sexuality there.
Fun. It's good people.
Yeah, and like I don't know if Robbie and Lola are gonna get their own book.
Yeah, there's a real and so for the readers, it's that I felt like enriched the story for sure. It made it really interesting. It added to the plot. There was lots of little banter going on. So here at the end of chapter 4, Nate has now discovered. My note is just the plot thickens. And it's not until I'm on the bottom step I see her boyfriend, who I'd forgotten existed, standing there staring at me like all hell's about to break loose. Oh, this is after they come down from his bedroom.
Who does Nate think is her boyfriend?
Toxic little pissy Aaron. Oh
yeah,
God, I hate him. So, I love this. This is a very specific kink that I think a lot of folks have. But so this is in chapter 5 now. They're like, you know, things are going down. They're having their little fight over our girl Anastasia, And this is now from Anastasia's perspective. And she says, I feel Nate beside me, the ghost of his touch hovering around the bottom of my back.
Yes, hand on the lower back.
Yes. My note is, why is this the hottest thing?
So good.
It is so good.
I think I highlighted just right after that. Aaron quirks a brow, clearly not believing I was using the bathroom. Thought you were collecting team captains like Pokemon. Where's Rothwell? He's normally the one draped all over you.
Yeah, that's her friend with benefits.
Yes,
okay.
And we've established on this podcast that collecting men like Pokemon is sanctioned.
It is sanctioned.
Second of all,
gotta catch them all.
If anyone ever criticizes you for people you're hanging out with, the men you're dating, that is not someone you need to be around.
So here's what we call that in the mental health world. Again, this is not an advice podcast. This is just, just saying it. But that is an isolation tactic. So folks who are here to manipulate, to take advantage, and folks can have traits of narcissism and all kinds of, disordered personality types. They can have traits without having... So people can be toxic, right, and be harmful,
and not have a personality disorder.
Having a full-blown personality disorder, that does not make it right. That does not make it okay. So, folks, listen to your guts. If you don't like it, it doesn't matter if they're like full-blown. You could just not like something someone's doing. It can cross your boundaries, and you can articulate that, and you can go to a safe place.
Mm-hmm.
But that is a theme throughout this: is that Aaron wants to isolate her.
Yeah, I wrote here. Aaron, you better square up. We're about to fight, and I know I'll win because it seems like you're a really fucking weak bitch who can't lift Anastasia. So,
yeah, sure does.
Sounds like I'm gonna win that fight. So you really want to keep talking?
Yeah, just keep on,
Back around and find out, Aaron.
Yes, beautiful. I just briefly highlighted later in chapter 5. It's the first mention of Anastasia's therapist. She says,
nice.
I doubt Dr. Andrews, my long-suffering therapist, would be impressed with me right now. Communication is king, is what he'd say. And he said in every session for over a decade. This is when she's, she's not exactly communicating clearly with her sweet little hockey player.
Yeah.
So.
She isn't. I also highlighted the part about Ryan got her a Cobb salad, but also got her a side of bacon cheese fries.
Yes!
And we are very passionate about getting a salad and also a side of fries. We do that all the time.
All the time.
Balance is so important.
It's very important because potatoes, you can boil them.
Mash them.
Or stick them in a stew.
It's very important.
Or fry them on up.
And get them with your salad.
Yep.
You got to balance it out.
And cover them in bacon and cheese. I see no flaws. We believe in balance. Okay, chapter 6 from Nathan's perspective. My next note is Aaron is still fucking around on the ice when we're all ready to start practice. So this is now they're having to overlap their use of, because they have 2 ice skating rinks, because schools have 2 ice skating rinks. That's normal.
Yeah. Maple Hill sounds like a very rich area.
In the South, we don't have multiple. But there they do. Well, this is LA, right? Do they have ice skating in LA?
Sure.
In this world, they do.
Can't know it.
In this beautiful world that we're indulging in, they sure do. But so they are now having to share the rink, and it's just, these are some competitive athletes who are having to share, and they don't want to do that. And so Nate is watching them practice, and this is his inner monologue, but he says, it's shitty, but it's none of my business. She's not the type of girl who needs defending, and if I were to try, it'd probably land me higher up her hit list. This is him watching Aaron be an asshole. Mm-hmm. And, I have a little reflective note here. When does it become your business that when someone's being mistreated? Like at what point?
Yeah.
Because he does intervene later.
Absolutely, he does. As he should. Yeah, when does it become your business when someone is clearly being mistreated?
And who do you talk to about that?
At this point, they are not really even friends. Like, they're just they just know each other.
There's no real relationship yet.
There's probably still a little bit of physical attraction because they're both hot.
Sure. It's tough. It's tough to be that hot.
Tough to be really hot.
We know.
It's an affliction that we both suffer from. Yeah, so, but I think, at this point, it's really not his responsibility. But, as they get closer and he's like, this is not how people should be treated ever, just in general. And especially the person that I care about being treated in this way. It is also Anastasia's responsibility to pull herself out of that toxic situation, because I mean, you see later on in this book, it's like she doesn't need Nathan or doesn't even really want him to help her. She's like, I can handle this on my own.
Yeah.
I know what's going on.
It's an interesting thing to consider, because when you're being gaslit, sometimes long term, your brain and what you're like, the gaslighting reality, or the upside down from Stranger Things, as I like to reference it, that reality, it's so counter to what your gut is feeling. If you really tune in with your gut knows, people. Listen to your gut. But sometimes, folks, it helps to hear someone say something that aligns with their gut. So like an outside person of like, hey, I noticed that you looked kind of distressed when this person was talking to you like that. Are you okay? Like, that's kind of, and it's tricky if you're not close with someone to say that kind of thing. But like, sometimes that can be the information they need, that a person needs in order to start listening to their gut more.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like they have a lot of, I don't know, these manipulative tactics create this alternate reality. And so voices that can kind of be on the outside and gently speak the real reality of like, hey, you're being harmed and taken advantage of, it can't tip the scales, but it can say like, hey, I'm a safe person if you ever need to talk about this.
Right.
Like, I'm seeing what your gut hopefully is feeling too, and so just like wanted to let you know.
Yeah, or even, showing someone what it's like when the relationship isn't toxic. Like,
ooh, yeah.
Yeah, Nathan is very good at being like, hey, like, we are not together. Like, you're allowed to you can
respectful,
do whatever you want. You can be who you want. You can eat what you want, and so showing them what it's like when someone isn't trying to control every aspect of your life. And it's like, this is what it's like in the real world.
Because, yeah, great point of like the person themselves has to get out of that. But sometimes they need help and they need to know where to go whenever they are getting out of it. And so you can be that light in someone's life, whether this is somebody's in a toxic dating situation, or whether it's, other kinds of relationships. It can be so helpful to like model like, hey, this is respectful communication. This is what it feels like.
Yeah. Like when I was in the process of trying to remove myself from the toxic religion that I was in, I had my sweet friend other A, not this A, different A. Like, I was spending a lot of time with her, and she's like, hey, this is what the world is like when you're not bogged down by religious trauma all of the time. Isn't this great and wonderful?
It's modeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, you are allowed to have fun and enjoy your life. I was like, what?
Not in a shaming, just like, hey, just like a little loving comment here. This is what it feels like to be not tortured by guilt and shame.
Yeah. My friend A is a strong Enneagram 8, but in the most beautiful, healthy way you can be an Enneagram 8. And she was like, I don't like what's going on.
You don't seem okay.
She's like, you're not okay. Come over here.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. Great. I love that. Yeah, that's a great example of, there are ways to do it without jeopardizing the safety or the sanity of the person who's stuck in whatever toxic dynamic is going on, because you don't want to make them a further target. And I will say, going to the person or institution, or person who is causing the harm is not going to be helpful.
No.
It's not going to be helpful at all. Going to the person who's stuck in it, though, they may also be resistant, but you can...
They might get defensive.
Sure.
Yeah.
Parts of them might, but their gut is going to know, like, hey, if they need to find a safe place or someone to talk to, that they can talk to you.
But sometimes all it takes is pointing it out and saying, hey, that's a
little toxic.
It's not really how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Sometimes it doesn't have to be complicated, y'all.
Yeah.
So we can speak up about stuff, because I think, we look at all kinds of things, and I don't know, I'm just here to encourage folks.
But just remember that it is their responsibility to pull themselves out.
Beautiful.
You can't get enmeshed in that.
It's not... We cannot change other people. We cannot live other people's lives for them. Yep. However, we can.
You gotta draw a line. You can tell them how you feel.
Exactly.
And then it's their responsibility to take that
gorgeous
into their soul.
Yes. They can do with that as they will. That is the beauty of free will and human autonomy, y'all.
We got it. We all got it.
anti-codependent here.
Or we're trying to be, at least.
Because we are healing and growing through that ourselves. My little highlight here along those lines is somewhere in the depths of chapter 6. From Nathan's perspective, he's talking to Aaron. He gives me a sickly sweet smile. My fingers crunch. I'm clutching my fists so tightly. He's unfazed enough to bump into my shoulder as he passes me. As he reaches the exit, he turns to face me. I'm going to enjoy watching her turn you into a simpering fool, just to drop you like she does everyone else. Happy skating. And my note was, so that's Aaron saying that to Nathan. My note was, if I can't have her, no one can.
That's exactly what it is.
Yes.
He's stomping his foot like a toddler.
Yes.
This is my toy.
Isolation. This is toxic as hell, y'all. So, great example of jealousy that is not cute.
That is not hot.
So, it's subtle, but this is nope.
Yeah, there's a difference between, like, you're mine and I love you, and I'm trying to protect you.
Which Nathan does a great job of in the book.
And I am trying to control every aspect of your life, which means that you can't be around anybody else ever. There's a huge difference there, though it can look similar if you're enmeshed in a relationship like that.
Sure can.
It's like, he wants me all to himself. Isn't that hot?
Yeah.
No.
It's really not, y'all.
If you're being isolated, that is not hot.
Yeah, so kind of zoom out. Look at the big picture.
Yeah.
Here's an example in the next chapter from Anastasia's perspective. She's talking about how wonderful Aaron's being. He seems to have turned things around, and I'm so grateful. See, here's the thing, y'all. We try to be good people, and we try to care about people, and we try to look for the best in them. But that is something that manipulators will use to take advantage of you, because she's desperately looking for, like, oh, he's turning around. It's going to be good. No. Look at all. It's tough.
Yeah, that's also, abusive patterns of behavior is, things are great and fine and normal for a long time, and then it's really, really horrible and you feel awful. But then it's like they apologize and everything's great and they treat you so well and it feels so good, and then it's really, really, and like that is how the pattern goes. It is like really high highs and really low lows. It is not worth it for the highs. It
is not. And you know what, y'all, some of us, I come by it honestly too, some of us get in these relationships and it feels normal because maybe our caregivers, maybe prior experiences, we were used to that kind of thing. And we thought, this is normal. This is what people do. It's not normal. It's not what healthy people do. And you get to choose as a grown-up if you want to continue to engage with this kind of thing.
Exactly.
You get to choose.
You get to choose who you spend time with.
You sure do, because you're
and if someone's
safer
not letting
than
choose who you spend time with, that's your sign.
Come hang out with us.
Yeah.
Come sit at our table.
We'll let you do whatever you want.
Yeah. We won't rescue you, but we will empower you. Okay. This is later in a chapter somewhere. Chapter 7. A sweet little pivot. We will come back to toxic relationship patterns. We always will. We always do.
We always will. This podcast might have a different flavor.
We're both just really angry about Aaron. That's what we want to talk about.
I hate Aaron so much.
Yeah. Well, also, I will pause for a moment and notice I don't have any notes about sex yet, and it's because they haven't done anything. The tension is building. Sure. This is probably going to be a good example of a book where there is a lot of sex in it, and so anytime we don't have a lot of notes about the sex, it's because there's a lot.
Yeah, I tried to, because I was very aware that this book did have some, pretty solid smut in it, so I tried to remind myself, hey, there's, it happens a lot, so make sure you, make some notes about when it happens. So,
cute.
Hopefully, I definitely do have one about the first, oral sex moment.
Oh, my God.
In the bedroom.
So it was magic. Absolute magic. Okay, very good. Well, this is the speed dating situation.
Oh,
The icebreaker, if you will.
The icebreaker.
That was very cute. And I'm like, oh, wait, it's an icebreaker.
Did you highlight the astrology stuff?
Yes.
That's what I highlighted.
Okay. Oh, my God. I'm so interested. I thought this was hilarious. Okay, so JJ is... I
love him.
I know.
He's amazing.
I'm excited for his book. Jaden Joe Hall, he call him JJ. So they're doing a 5 minutes, they get to know each other. If you hear those yelps, one of these babies are dreaming. Anyway, the astrology stuff is he says, I'm 21. I'm a Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising. he goes in and talks about, my note is, this is all we really need to know.
Yes.
Scorpio sun, moon, and rising. Is that possible?
So, yeah, she says she's a Virgo sun and rising. She's a double Virgo and a Cancer moon.
Yes.
And then he hisses and shakes his head immediately. What? Cancer moon, red flag.
From a triple Scorpio?
From the triple Scorpio? Exactly. That's the exact... Triple Scorpios, chime in. Are you scary? Because I'm scared of you.
He's like, I'll have you know we're incredibly misunderstood. I don't know that I've officially met a triple Scorpio. I would love to hear.
I mean, we know a Scorpio.
Yeah, we do. Mm-hmm. We sure do.
But, the Virgo sun and rising for Anastasia, that tracks.
Feels right.
Yeah. The planner, the down to the minute planner that she has.
Go. But then the Cancer moon.
She got feelings.
She's been in therapy, though.
That's right.
We love it. Yeah, she got feelings. That's a fun breakdown. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved, though, that JJ led with that.
He was like, triple Scorpio. That's it.
It's like, oh, okay. That's a something. Well, I have highlighted later on in the same happy little chapter, I feel naive sharing this, but I've had enough therapy in my life to know I should try to communicate my feelings. Mm-hmm. That's Anastasia. And I said, we love a therapized bitch.
Yeah, that's right. We do.
We support. And then...
She does know how to communicate her feelings pretty well.
She does. She can...
I feel like this because of this.
And she's able to articulate that and get her needs met and meet her own needs based upon the feelings that she's feeling.
Yeah.
Because emotions are energy in motion in our bodies. And we got to respect them. We got to figure out what our emotions are trying to tell us. It's just information. But then later on, she's talking to our angel. So Nate is trying to get her to love him. Mm-hmm. And she finally, he waits for me to answer, his brown eyes practically staring into my freaking soul. You're on probation. Heat creeps back into my cheeks when he gives me the brightest smile. I'm going to nail it. You better. And then I just highlighted the italicized shit. Because she's falling for Nate.
That's right.
Adorable. You got something else for that general area?
What chapter are you in?
8-ish.
Oh, okay. I'm in chapter 8 too. I think this is at a party, perhaps.
Yeah.
Could be. There's a lot of parties.
There's so many parties.
So one of the younger teammates goes up to Nathan and says, those girls you told me to watch out for arrived. Lola Mitchell, and Anastasia Allen. Thank God. Okay, what's the problem?
I've highlighted the same thing.
Well, I told them to come find you, and like you told me to, and spit it out, Tim. Lola, well, she told me to tell you if you want to give her orders, you should put her on the goddamn team. Fucking insolent woman.
My note is, sounds about right.
Yeah. That sounds like something you would say.
Yeah.
Sorry, if you want to give me orders, then put me on the fucking hockey team.
Yeah, put me on, like that. No, you shan't be giving me orders. Yeah, that's like all of grad school.
Yeah.
Like, who are you to be telling me what to do? Oh, this is sweet. In chapter 8, 10,892 highlights. This is from Nate's perspective. Looking at her makes me want to be the funniest guy in the room so I can be the one to make her laugh. But I'm going to have to settle for her not scowling at me for now.
There's a lot of suggested highlights in chapter 8. It's almost like there's some spicy stuff going on.
It's as if God bless Patron.
God. Is that what you just read?
Yeah.
God bless Patron.
Yes, that's in chapter 8. It's cute. What else you got in there?
I got a couple in here. Spinning to face me, her back presses into the door. Are you ever going to forgive me? I told you, you're on probation. Raking a hand through my hair, the groan that slips out is pure frustration. That isn't a yes. Do I need to get on my knees and beg you, Anastasia? Is that what you want? She shakes her head and laughs. The only time I ever want to see a grown man on his knees in front of me, Nate, is when his face is between my legs. So no, I don't want you to beg me.
Italicized. Oh, fuck. How do we like our men?
On
their knees. Beautiful. Later on down the page, 8,517 highlights. You don't hate me. You don't hate me like you pretend you do, don't you? If you want me on my knees, Anastasia, we can make that happen. Is that a promise, Captain?
Ask me nicely. Let me know how much I like it when you're let me show you how much I like it when you're nice.
Oh.
Why would I do that when I don't like you? Her words are strong, but her delivery is strained and wispy, giving her away. You don't have to like me to scream my name, Anastasia. Yeah.
You don't have to like me to scream. Oh my God. That is just a brief foray into the kind of smut we're talking about in this book.
Yeah, so there is incredible dirty talk in this book.
All throughout.
And yeah, there's spicy banter all the time. And while they're doing it, he says so many things that I'm sure I highlighted them. Don't worry, you all. You know.
She's got it covered. In chapter 9, I highlighted, this is to Anastasia's perspective. Mm-hmm. He just looks so good in his tux, and watching him nervously check that the party is going well all night has been sort of endearing. I made the note, responsibility kink.
It's responsibility kink. He checks in on his teammates, makes sure they're safe.
Yes. Checking in, doing an incredible job. Adorable. This is her. She's wrestling in her mind about, should I be with Nathan?
Should I
let him get on his knees?
Out? Yeah.
Should I draw him a map to an ID spot?
With messy hair from where I've held onto it and flushed cheeks, he looks up at me, his hands running from my ankle to my knee, then back down again.
Ah, yes.
And yet, so close to melting territory. You sure? Do you have a pen and paper for me to draw you a map? God, fucking insolent woman. I'm making jokes. Why am I making jokes? Why do I find how unimpressed with me he looks right now so funny and hot? I don't joke about consent, Anastasia.
I know.
We don't joke about... I just wrote Nate Hawkins, my man.
My man. We don't joke about.
Ugh.
Later on in chapter 9-ish, perhaps. She's in bed with Ryan, and Lola comes in, and she's clearly hiding something. She says it. He went down to me on Robbie's birthday party, and I ran off, like all under her breath. And then Ryan, it was really helpful. He said, I'm interested to know how people accidentally have oral sex, though, Stas. Share with the group.
I'm also interested, like, how?
Yeah.
How you do that?
I'd like to know more. How does one just accidentally do that?
Against a door.
It's very skilled.
With your heels digging into his back.
It requires concentration and
Yes.
presence of mind, but I mean, never say never.
I know, and I love Ryan because he's like, yeah, girl.
Yeah.
Get it.
I know. Not like she's genuinely happy about Olivia because now Ryan, or the friends with benefits man, is now on to an actual relationship baby.
The sweet pretty Olivia.
Very sweet, very sweet.
I will say that oral sex scene is on page 74, so that's for the girlies. Hannah Grace put that in there real early for the girls.
Oh yeah, we're all in.
That's what's so fun about this book is that you get some really good smut like pretty early, but then like it gets taken away from you like midway through the book. So there's a good chunk where there's like more that's like you get some tension, and then like they have a lot of sex, and like they stop, and it's like there's all this tension again, and then you get
why are they not having sex?
Yeah, it's really fun.
But it is really unexpected. That's the first that we've kind of had. It's not a third act breakup.
No, they don't really ever break up.
Yeah, it's really
they have
fun.
Some arguments and stuff, but they resolve them like adults would resolve their relationships.
And I'm not anti-trope, but like this is a good. I think that kept me really engaged. Just like, oh, where's this going? You know, like it's really unexpected. I think this would be a fun movie.
Oh, I think so too.
Or like series. I think this would be really fun.
Series.
Yeah,
really
we've got a villain. We've got it's really good.
And you can really stretch that like Aaron stuff out over several
seriously
like episodes.
The tension and the drama. What else you got?
I highlighted here. We've both read enough romance novels and watched enough bad romance movies to know we love a she's mine type of man.
Yes,
we do.
Oh, I highlighted it too. Oh, this was important. This was from Lola and Ryan were really helping Anastasia out. This was important. Stas, you know I love you, but you've got to stop being so fucking stubborn. Hawkins is a good guy. Fuck him, don't fuck him. But since when do you avoid people you hook up with? Come on, a little accountability there. And then Lola says, you should definitely fuck him. Far more enthusiastically than I'd like. I agree. This is Ryan, the guy she's been hooking up with.
Yes.
And he says, I agree. You probably should at least once, Stas, for science.
We're very passionate about science on this podcast.
The performing arts major and the English literature major, the two least STEM people I know, both look at me, synchronized, nodding and talking for science. My note is, that's why we do this podcast.
This is for science.
For science.
We're very passionate about data and science.
This is data-driven.
I said, we're just two women in STEM.
We are!
And bonus points if someone can come up with a sluttier acronym for STEM.
Yeah, y'all, I can't come up with that off the fly, but by all means, whatever acronym we would have, but we are just two women in STEM.
We're here for science.
We're blazing trails. We're here for science. We're here for the data. We are reporting this data. We're analyzing it. We're synthesizing it. We are reporting it back to the masses so that they can make accurate decisions based upon the analysis of the data. And there are places for further research, and we assign those to y'all. We're like research leaders. The fact that we don't have a doctorate at this point is really shocking.
Yeah, we honestly deserve an honorary doctorate for the work that we have done on this podcast.
Yeah. I think it's a service to the people. We could write a dissertation at this point
about smut.
Or we could have an honorary one where we don't have to write jack shit.
I know my partner was, he gets on his TikTok a lot of like, people who do like, they draft different things, like drafting best chips, like first round I'm taking Doritos or whatever. And he
football.
Goes, yeah, like football. And he was like, y'all should do a draft of like smut.
That's not a bad idea.
And I was like, oh my God. First round I'm taking Akamath. A's gonna take Outlander.
100%. Wait, we're pitting Akamath against Outlander?
No, I mean, so the way the draft works is like all of the smut is available to you, and we're drafting like a snake draft. So I take one, you take one, I take one, you take one.
Nice.
Yeah, and so you get like your top 5.
Okay, wait, so then we build a team and then we fight?
And then we go outside and we fight.
Then we start throwing hands. Okay. I'm all in. We got the whole world of smut to divvy up.
I know.
And then to debate the merits of who wins. What do we get if we win?
I don't think there's a winner or a loser.
We get amazing vibrators.
Okay, fair enough.
We get awarded.
Whoever builds the sluttiest team
gets a very expensive vibrator. Oh, yeah. Okay, another little personality disorder moment.
Oh, yeah.
Later on.
Is this when he drops her?
This is, you know what? This is something. This is somewhere. He's saying, I'm trying to look out for you, Stassi. I care about you. We're partners.
No.
And that goes beyond skating. I know you'd do the same for me.
You would support me in the way that I'm supporting you right now.
If you loved me.
If you loved me the way that I love you.
If you cared about our sport.
All the things I've done for you.
After all the things I've done for you, I highlighted right below, I make allowances for Aaron, desperate to cling to those lovely moments we share.
Ooh.
Hannah Grace, I think Hannah Grace has had some of these experiences.
I think she's writing from experience.
A thing or two. There's some really pointed, like, classic things people say.
Yes.
Like, why did you stay for so long? Well, I was desperate to cling to those lovely moments.
The highs were really good.
Yeah. Nobody with half a brain cell would stay in a toxic situation if the highs weren't high.
Right, exactly.
There's got to be something worth staying for. So then later on down the page, she says, there are times when the idea he'd say anything bad about either of us feels impossible. Mm-hmm. When he's fiercely loyal and protective without being toxic, and when all three of us are tucked up together in our living room watching movies and laughing. Then there are times like now when the nasty streak he has seeps through the cracks. Here's the thing. The nasty streak is always there.
Yeah.
He's just hiding it momentarily.
It's under a mask.
You know, you think like, oh, he's really good at his core. And I'm not saying that people are bad. I am saying that they can have parts of them who are really sadistic and out here to hurt you to their own benefit.
Yeah.
And that's who they actually are, really. They're just pretending.
All right, what else you got?
That's my little soapbox. I think the plot is thickening with her inner war about this Aaron guy. Like, what is going on? Oh, this I felt like was a good little moment. So she's thinking about. So she pushed off our angel Nate because she found out that he had lied about.
Oh, about the thing getting destroyed.
You got it. Exactly.
Yes.
You read my mind.
Wrong holes. We get it. You know. Look, the rink got destroyed. That is why they're sharing a rink with Anastasia.
Exactly. Yeah, all that matters is that they're sharing a rink. Mm-hmm. But again, y'all...
He lied to protect a teammate about the rink getting destroyed.
Beautiful.
That's the wrong holes.
Wrong holes, but to be clear, there is a lot of plot in this book. There are a lot of things happening. It's not fluff. Like, there's action. There's, like...
Yeah.
You gotta keep up. She says here, now that I've had a week to process it, I don't feel embarrassed about my lack of willpower last week. When he went... I angled the mic away. When he went down on her... in his bedroom.
Ah, yes. Against the door.
Her lack of willpower. She says, we're both adults. Sometimes adults let other adults prove that they don't need navigational tools to find a G-spot. It's normal.
Yeah, sure.
My note is smiley face.
Smiley face.
You just keep lying to yourself, Anastasia.
Sure. I don't know where you are, but I have a...
Chapter 11.
Okay. So in chapter 10, Aaron had, like, dropped her in the rink.
Ah.
You know me. I like a little... being rescued moment.
A little carried away.
So she's got a cut on her head. She's bleeding.
Oh, that baby.
And Nathan says to her, Stas, I'm going to pick you up and carry you to the first aid room, okay? I sure. Okay.
Okay, you sure can.
Sure.
You go. Oh, no. What does she say? She's like, I'm heavy. I'm going to carry you to safety.
I'm heavy. And she says, shut up, Anastasia. You're not even half my warm-up weight.
Aww.
Talk dirty to me.
Talk dirty to me. You can carry me. It's so sweet. Yeah, I loved that whole exchange. It happens again.
Oh my gosh. Sorry.
Tell me.
I just have this like text exchange highlighted and I wrote, should we act this out?
Oh, by all means. What page?
Page 93.
100%.
It's like between Lila and Anastasia.
Who will you be?
Hold on, let me read it.
I'll be Lola.
Okay.
Your man is fine as hell. Jeez.
He isn't my man.
Well, he should be. He just slammed someone into the wall, and I swear I got a flutter.
What's happening?
Don't know. Still don't understand hockey. Robbie's wearing a 3-piece suit and shouting at people, though. Pregnant emoji.
OMG. Are they winning?
Yeah, they keep sliding them in so easy, just like he did with your kitty cat.
I hate you.
Let them puck your mouth, Stassi.
Deleting your number.
Want to go out tonight to celebrate?
Not if it's with the hockey team.
I look forward to you changing your mind. Smirk emoji. I love the competence. You know, he keeps doing this. He's shouting at people and then pregnant emoji.
Pregnant. Yeah. It's like the coach is doing his job and she's like, oh, I enjoy watching you do your job.
Immediately pregnant.
Yeah.
Immediately into that.
The slamming into the boards.
That's perfect. Yes. I feel like that's exactly how it should go.
Should we act out this scene like we're in high school theater is what I wrote.
Did we get a gold star?
Crushed it.
Did we get a Tony? What is it when theater people get an award?
A Tony? Well, musical theater is Tony.
Yeah. Oh, I have a note later on.
Sure.
I think I have the setting that tells me the page numbers off. I think that makes my life a little more challenging than it needs to be. But that would require me going in and changing that. The point is, drunkenness aside, so now we're in the back of... This is them all in the back of this Uber.
Oh, that spicy scene.
Oh my God. When they're all in the back of the Uber and she's in the very back and she's sitting on his lap.
Yes.
What do you think happens on this lap? Oh my God. My note is, the point is, oh, drunkenness aside, Taylor Swift's Cruel Summer came on the radio and Chris turns it up to full volume, their Uber driver. My note is, I'm drunk in the back of the car.
And I cried like a baby coming home from... Except we're not crying. Wow. I wrote, he looks up grinning like a devil.
I mean, both Cruel Summer references, both accurate.
I'm drunk in the back of the car.
And he is looking up grinning like a devil.
Sure is.
Oh my
There's
God.
Some stuff.
This is a spicy scene.
Public car moment.
My God.
I have...
So good.
Yes. Y'all, for the girlies, his knees nudge mine farther apart, his mouth descending on mine again, more possessive, more dominant, his nose brushes mine.
Ah, yes.
Can you be a good girl and be quiet? I wrote, yes, I can.
Yes, I will do that. I will comply with those rules.
Yes. Y'all, if you have a praise kink, this book's for you.
So good. I think maybe my favorite part of it was when her wing girl, Lola helped her out and rolled down that window.
Yeah, there are some conversations about...
Lola was like, I don't need any more information. I'm just like, I know my friend's back there, and I'm going to make sure everything smells fresh in here.
Yeah, it's fine. No worries.
All is well.
Cranking up that Taylor Swift. Help a sister out.
Seriously, I feel like this is very college, too. Like, as a grown-ass woman, for the love of God, no, I'm not doing that. But they were living it up.
They were living it up.
Adorable.
Yeah, but, like, when they get back to his place, he, basically tells her that he's not going to have sex with her.
I know.
Because she's drunk.
That hurt her heart.
It was painful to read. I think he's obviously doing the right thing, but, like, I felt for her. So, like, if I had said, hey, do you have a condom? And he said, I'm not having sex with you, that would have killed me.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, and I understand, and sure, it was the right call, and it shows his integrity, but... I mean, honey, I know you're just a baby, but maybe you could have said that a little earlier.
Mm-hmm. I know. And, like, later in the next chapter, he says, I still hurt her even with the best of intentions. It's like, yeah, it's like intent versus impact. Maybe you should have these conversations sober.
Yeah, and maybe do that before you, like, invite her up to your... There were a lot of mixed signals, and he was drunk, too. That's just a little note for people to have in their back pocket. Like, when you shut it down... You don't owe anyone anything. Like, if you're uncomfortable and you're withdrawing your consent, that's one thing. You can shut that down, you know. It's not about the other person's feelings.
Right.
But if this is someone you want a relationship with, and maybe say it. Maybe say it a little earlier.
It hurts.
It hurts, but a little highlight here of healthy jealousy, or sexy jealousy anyway.
Sexy jealousy.
He says, he runs his hands up the back of my thighs gently. This is before he says, I'm not having sex with you. Lots of mixed signals. I'm jealous because I want you all to myself, Stassi. I'm jealous of any guy you freely give your attention to. I'm even jealous of Henry, for fuck's sake, and I love that kid.
She has a very special relationship with Henry. It's really sweet. It's fully platonic, like...
Well, on her side.
Yeah, I think Henry does, like, think she's hot. But he's also a little younger than her.
Henry's an angel.
She sees him very much as, like, precious little brother. It's
a really pure, darling relationship. So then she gets her feelings hurt, not in a, like, rightfully so. Mm-hmm. And so then in the middle of the night, she goes and stays in Henry's room. So, like, he goes down, he's like, where is she? And they're like, she's upstairs. She went to Henry's room. And he's, oh my God, his nightmare. She slept with Henry. Oh no.
Henry would never. Henry's such an angel.
And so he says, much to my delight, Henry is sitting on a half-inflated air mattress on the floor.
Yeah.
He looks between the two of us and stands. I'm going to get some breakfast. My note just says, an angel.
An angel. God, I love that kid.
I know. And then they have a good little conversation talking about their feelings. Mm-hmm. This is a great modeling of, like, we don't need to be mysterious. We need to talk about what's on our hearts and minds.
We need to have a conversation about what happened.
It's probably good for everybody. So... absolutely precious. If we jump into page 120, captain of the hockey team, and I can't even keep up with a 5'4" figure skater. I'm never gonna live this down. She finally slows down to do some fancy spinning shit, and I close the gap, scooping her up over my shoulder, ignoring her squeal of horror. Woo! Her fists bang against my back, and it's a good day to be wearing protective equipment.
Yeah.
She was hanging out on the ice too long.
Well, I think that was when they were running over, and she was like, well, if you're going to run into my time, I'm going to skate.
She just started skating. Well, there's a whole bunch of hockey players on the ice.
It was very not safe. Like, she was not wearing any protective gear. And that's why he was like, get the fuck out of here. There's a bunch of dudes.
You're going to get hurt.
Yeah.
So he protected her by picking her up and carrying her to safety. Oh, my God. So good.
Amazing.
She tries to wriggle off, but my grip is too tight, and all she can do is hit me. And frankly, I've had worse. Oh, it's so good. Hawkins coach shouts, pulling my attention back to the ice. Finish up. So he's like, come on back. Quit flirting with this girl. Mm-hmm. And he says, I take one last look at her. You look beautiful today.
Yes.
And then Her mouth opens and closes, most definitely not expecting that. The anger in her face begins to dissolve. Her eyes soften, and almost like magic, a split second passes, and it all disappears. Oh, fuck off, Nathan. She shouts, stomping away from me. My note is, a woman bewitched.
Yes. I love that scene.
So cute.
I like that he just disarms her completely. He knows that she's going to come at him with, like, sharp knives. And he's like, you look beautiful.
You look beautiful today. And then she softens and she goes, oh, fuck off.
Stupid
boy.
Stupid fucking hockey player.
It's a good dynamic.
I have some stuff about, there's like a party and Nate takes Summer up to his bedroom.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, go for that.
So it's not what it sounds like. She needed a tampon or something.
Yeah.
And Henry, because Henry is an angel sent from heaven, he keeps like girly shampoo and tampons and all the girly stuff in his room.
Of course.
Because he's the best.
Yes.
God, I love Henry.
Yeah.
And obviously Anastasia gets jealous because Summer is... Well, Nathan had wanted Summer for a long time. He wanted to date her.
Everyone knew.
And she saw Nathan take Summer up to his bedroom and she got jealous.
Lo and behold.
She's
jealous.
Yes.
Interesting.
And I highlighted, well, I am angry at you, Nathan. Good. So fucking angry. Perfect. Our mouths smashed together. In a crazed, drunk, desperate display of built-up sexual frustration.
As it should be.
I just wrote, let's fight. And by fight, I mean hook up.
Let's fight. Yes.
And then later on down the page, I highlighted, that's a good girl.
That's all you highlighted?
Yes.
Y'all, the spice, the dirty talk, the descriptions, this is solid.
Yeah.
If you want, like, smut with a good plot,
This is it.
get it immediately.
It's a truly descriptive smut. Like, you get every little detail.
It's really beautiful, too.
And I wrote here, I feel like I'm realizing that a lot of the books I choose have a theme. Much to ponder.
How would you define this theme?
Well, the words good girl are very present.
Yeah, I don't know if we mentioned, you read this and recommended it to me.
Yep.
So you were like, you must read this immediately. Before
I was like, for some reason, I really enjoyed this book.
Yeah, before we even started the podcast, you were like, I had this downloaded. You were like, you've got to read this immediately. Well, we'll skip over exactly what they did. We'll leave that to y'all's imagination because, you know, we have decorum. We have our own limits.
I am not going to read to you about how big his dick is.
Apparently, it's very large.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Massive.
Not pierced, which is a real mercy to us all.
Although I will read this. This is very important.
Okay.
Crawling toward me, he settles between my thighs and reaches for a spare pillow, instructing me to lift my hips so he can put it under the bottom of my back. This is a man who knows what the fuck he's doing.
This is a man who doesn't need a map to the G-spot.
No.
Because he understands the physics of it all.
Yes.
And how to get where you need to go.
That's right. This is a green flag in the streets and in the sheets. If a man ever puts a pillow under your lower back,
Oh my God.
that's the one.
It's as if he knows what he's doing,
That's
folks.
exactly right.
Dear God. This is just science. For science.
And in this same scene, she does do like a splits situation.
That...
The visual I could not quite understand.
And she was like dead serious. And he was like, wow, she's flexible. And I'm like, no. I don't care if you can do that. Should you?
Should you be doing?
Sitting atop him, astride him in a full split. Like, we gotta draw the line somewhere. I get that she's a figure skater. Please make it stop. Hannah Grace, you went too far. In the next chapter, or are you still in the sex scene?
Well, there's this one more where, like, she
by all
says,
means.
you're like a real life freaking demon. And I said, or a devil, if you will.
A devil. Interesting. Something to note. I'm a devil dressed like a daydream. So she says, she's getting ready the next day, and she's like, oh my God, I look like leeches have attacked me. She's looking at her neck. Who are you, fucking Dracula? I'll buy you a scarf when I go to Target, he says nonchalantly, examining his handiwork. My note is just, oh, and then she says, I have to teach kids this morning. Do you know what kids notice? Absolutely everything.
Well, that's true.
You are so full of rage for someone so small and cute, he teases, kissing the ugly marks on my neck. Can't relate to the scar. I noted, I can't relate to the scars, but I can say I've been told this.
I said that too. I was like,
Really?
funny people have described me in that exact way.
Yeah,
For someone so small, you have a lot of rage.
You are very angry. Very angry.
I was repressed for a long time.
I have a lot to say now. I have many years of anger to
Of
express.
not saying.
Yes, and I will say it. Damn it! But yeah, I liked just the casual scarf situation there. You can relate.
Y'all know. Look, I think it's important to have things in your wardrobe for every occasion.
For every necessity. We know to have like bloated pants, tight pants. We know to have shirts with different necklines.
Yeah.
As needed.
A turtleneck if you need one.
Yeah, even like little summer sleeveless turtleneck moments. Sometimes you
Like
need
your
to
Rachel
cover
Green from the 90s.
100%. Sometimes you need to cover your damn neck.
Sometimes you got to.
I'm just saying.
Just some advice from us.
Sometimes
this is not an advice podcast, but
that's not an advice podcast, but
that's for free.
Yeah, that is a freebie, so you don't have to run to Target. This is a note somewhere on some page around the same place, 140 something.
Sure.
And then this is Anastasia and her inner dialogue, her inner monologue. She's thinking of things. Last night was something else. I don't know whether it was all built up sexual frustration or the excitement of the game, but the man knows how to use his dick for the greater good.
Oh, he sure does.
That
like world peace level.
My note is a national treasure.
Ah, yes.
Like this is a service. This is using your dick for the
Provided for
greater
all.
good. Yeah. Well, and then we get to enjoy it as well in written form.
That's incredible.
Thank you, Nathan.
This has solved the world's problems.
Really, it has provided a lot of dopamine and serotonin. And so, for the greater good indeed. Y'all, men everywhere, listen up. It is possible to use your dick for the greater good.
Sure is.
Consider today not what your dick can do for you, but what you can do for what you can do. Consider not what the world can do for your dick, but what your dick can do for the world. Consider the greater good.
Consider the greater good.
Inspirational
when
speech
you're
of the day.
wielding your massive hog.
Stop. But you know what? Consider what you can do for the greater good using your dick. Oh, you heard it here first, folks. On page 143, Stassi's texting Nate, the love of her life.
Oh, Uber slut.
Uber slut. I think he's changed her name in here. Yes, she was Uber slut because
she did that. Not
she
him.
She saved her name as Uber slut because they
fucked around in the back of the Uber.
They fucked around in the back of the Uber.
Messed about in the back of the Uber.
They messed about in the back of the Uber, and that is why Ubers charge money because sometimes they gotta clean some shit up. I'm sorry, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So Stassi says, "Yeah, don't be late. You've got to take me straight home." Text exchange. Nate says, "No shenanigans. No, Scout's honor." And Stassi says, "There's no way you're a Boy Scout." Nate, "I was, but I got kicked out." Stassi, "Why?" Nate, "I accidentally set Robbie on fire when we were 8. So my question here.
She's asking me to tell you all how I feel about Eagle Scouts.
Boy Scouts that then become Eagle Scouts.
Let me tell you, Boy Scouts, not hot.
No.
Eagle Scouts, super hot.
I think most of our U.S. presidents were all Eagle Scouts.
Well, I'm not sure that's a brag. No, that's a dock against Eagle Scouts.
Yeah, that's a point against Eagle Scouts, maybe. But first of all, with the competence kink.
Yeah, if you can't tell, my partner is an Eagle Scout.
If you can't tell by everything about him.
Yeah, by everything about him and the fact that we're talking about Eagle Scouts. Which makes him good at many, many things, including tying knots.
He's very good at tying knots.
That is my tip for all the girlies. If you find yourself an Eagle Scout, just know that he can tie a goddamn knot.
He really can. So do with that information what y'all will.
I mean, for boats.
Yeah.
For other things.
Practical reasons.
Yeah.
You need knots for many things in this life.
It's come in handy in my life.
It's interesting how that works. It's just to be noted. To be noted. Yes, I feel that those are skills. Those are skills to have. And I also love... I'm so glad I can incorporate my partner. Because this is a game of bigger and better. I
don't want to play that game.
No, let's not play the game. But no, I can relate in the setting of the fire.
Oh.
Jay has set many fires.
On accident? They were supposed to be there, but maybe, perhaps.
So, there's 2 separate stories that I know of that if he were here, he could tell much better than I. He has not set people on fire.
Well,
But he tends, as a young boy and then later as a man, he tends to be fucking around with flames.
well, what?
He set a field on fire.
That's
You know, the fire
Almost
department
a
got
crime.
called. Yeah. He was a child.
okay.
Anyway.
On page 149, I cannot tell. Why does it not tell me what chapter this is in? But they're talking about Aaron, and Nathan says, "I'll kick his ass if you want me to." His hand cups my cheek, and I nuzzle into his warmth. "If you hurt him, I can't compete at sectionals in 2 weeks." Noted. But if we don't qualify and you happen to hit him with your car, that's not my concern. Also noted. I approve of the vehicular manslaughter of Aaron.
I also, off the record, sign off on that. I think that is important. So, Anastasia posts a lot of things like inspirational quotes,
her
and like her Instagram is very, you know, like, oh,
It's positive.
lots of positivity. But she's actually like a very intense person. And he says, I was going to ask if those ridiculously optimistic quotes you post are something to do with therapy, or if you're just like catfishing people into thinking you're not the most temperamental, bossy, and terrifying woman they may ever meet. And then my note is there's a theme with our books that, and we have addressed this earlier, but that, you know, maybe this is just women written by women.
Yes. We're going to jump back in chapter 17.
Beautiful.
On page 150. Instead of going to the mall, we get your favorite takeout and order a costume online.
Yes.
You can stay over because I bought loads of girly shit from Target on Saturday after I took you to work, and I think a bit of space from Aaron might be what you need right now.
Huh.
Sold.
Sold.
You want me to sit on the couch and online shop? Sure. I will do that.
And,
And order takeout for me? From
And
my belly?
he puts, like, at the end of the chapter, it's a great plan. I'll even take you home in the morning for a change of clothes and take you to class. Might be my best plan yet.
An incredible plan. Inspired, really.
I close the gap, pressing my lips to his. It's hard to remember we're in public when his tongue rolls against mine.
Ooh.
He breaks us apart.
Hello.
Is that a yes? Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, we'll do that.
I will do that.
Adorable.
Chapter 18, page 152. It feels great when your best friends like the girl that you like, but we're barely through the front door and before they spot Anastasia behind me and turn back into golden retrievers. And I said, you know what? I do like my partner's friends being golden retrievers. That is very fun.
Yes, adorable. Adorable. It is really cute how the whole team is like, Lola and Anastasia? Like,
oh, our friends, they're here.
Yes. We haven't even gotten to Halloween.
Yeah.
So cute.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. The Halloween scene is really fun.
Yes.
And then on page 154, I highlighted, it makes me wonder if there's a psychological reason why her wearing my clothes makes me horny. Yes, there is.
In fact, yes.
That's a biological response, my friend.
That is a biological response. That is exactly how it goes. I do love he's trying to get her upstairs, and the guys are hooting and hollering as he's trying to get Anastasia to go upstairs. And JJ says, "You can call me Daddy anytime, Stassi." Up, I hit bump her gently in the direction of the stairs. "Stop being a menace, Joe Hall. She doesn't want you." JJ scoffs loudly. "I don't believe that. Everyone wants me." Henry frowns as Stassi heads towards the stairs, muttering under his breath, "I don't want you, JJ."
Sweet Henry.
"I don't want you."
Not everybody wants you, JJ. I don't.
So sweet. God.
Love him.
Yes. Oh, around that place too, I highlighted. She has opinions and interests, and beneath her obsessively organized and competitive nature, she's a woman who just wants to do well.
She has opinions and interests. A person.
A fully developed human being.
A person with thoughts.
Thoughts and interests. The bar is on the floor, truly. Just let women be women.
That's right.
Let us be people.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Page 156. This is Anastasia saying, "Ryan said I should stop being so hard on you and give you a chance. He said you were a good guy and I should stop being so stubborn."
Just a second, I highlighted that too.
And Nate says, "I famously always said how much I like Ryan. I've always said he's a really good guy, a wise guy who should be listened to."
Exactly.
I take back all the other shit I said. We like Ryan now, do we?
Yes.
Interesting.
Oh,
He was experiencing some jealousy around Ryan.
Yeah. And then he says something, I was trying to dig it up, but he says something around like, I have famously always loved her friends.
Like, Ryan and I, we're tight.
Yeah, like it's cute. And they call it Playing House.
Yes, which is so cute. Oh, and then Ryan said I should fuck you for science, and Lola agreed. I like Anastasia's friends. They're good people.
Anastasia's friends are good people. You know what? They are. And
they really are.
Any friends who are encouraging you to be with a healthy, well-adjusted, lovely guy are indeed good people.
Indeed. All right, it's Halloween time, baby.
Yes, it is.
All right, so she's come up with a very special costume
She
to
sure
surprise
has.
Nathan on Halloween. Isn't that really sweet?
A gift.
It's a fucking intimidating experience having all these guys staring at me, but it's too late to back out now. JJ is still smiling wider than any other guys and begins to whoop over the sound of the music. Okay, let me paint you a picture. Thigh-high boots. I'm assuming fishnets.
Sure.
And a Titans jersey that is barely covering her little bits.
Yes.
Then
With a belt.
With a belt. To cinch in that waist. Gotta look snatched.
Gotta.
Then JJ says, "Give us a spin, Stassi." Dragging my hair over my shoulder, I slowly turn, pausing for 2 seconds when my back faces the team. It's long enough for the laughter and cheering to start, and when I finish my spin, Nathan's face is frozen. His knuckles are white from gripping his glass so tightly. He hasn't said anything, so I don't have confirmation, but I'd imagine it's because he was not expecting me to be JJ for Halloween. She's wearing Joel's jersey.
And then, you're right, this is fun. He looks super mad, Lola says gleefully. Adorable. For context, all of these men are dressed as minions.
Yes.
Except for Nate, who is dressed as
like
Gru. Yes, it is adorable.
3 little kitties. Girls?
Yeah. It is literally
incredible. And then she runs into a 6'4" wall of muscle. And Nathan says, "Come with me." Yeah. But
make me.
You know what I wrote here, y'all. Fucking insolent woman.
Exactly.
She's wearing a Titans jersey. That's not Nathan's.
That takes guts. Maybe this is where he murders me, and I'll be on a true crime podcast forever. I cross my arms and shaking my head. Make me. Your choice. I'm upside down over his shoulder before I've even had a chance to think about this final words. My final words. He walks to the door and then another door before finally setting me back on his feet. Do you not like peeing alone? You could have just asked me nicely. Take it off, Anastasia.
Yeah, and then I highlighted, "Take off Jaden's jersey or I will rip it from your body." Doesn't really sound like a threat to me.
But JJ is my favorite hockey player.
He's my favorite.
But he's my favorite.
I'm
Again, this is adorable jealousy.
Oh, it's so cute.
This is playful.
No one's getting hurt here.
This is not... There's a difference between isolating, and I get it. It is a nuanced difference. But there's a difference between isolating someone in a dangerous way versus, like, a little bit of, like, hey, you're my girl, not his.
Yeah.
Don't wear his stupid jersy.
And he knows she's doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
No.
But I like that he threatened to take it off her. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Sure. That's not a threat, Nathan.
Go right ahead, Nathan.
Later on down that page, I highlighted, after he has taken off the Titans jersey, the tiny Titans cheerleader outfit I'm wearing is now visible since he abruptly stripped me of the outfit number 1. He pinches my chin between his thumb and forefinger, tilting my head back. "How much do you like being able to walk straight?" I tighten my legs around his waist, the anticipation a near boiling point. Never really been a fan. Good.
Good.
Yeah, but I wrote, like, I'm obsessed with this scene because it's silly and fun and flirty and really spicy.
Yeah. Things devolve.
Oh my.
Things go
up against the... Oh, I think I highlighted the position.
Is this up against the door?
Yeah, so it's up against the bathroom door. And then, like, this position makes my brain... I don't understand it.
Well,
so, you know how... What
very
it looks,
flexible.
She's extremely flexible. But you know what it's like to be, like, up against the door?
Sure.
So then his arm hooks under one leg and navigates it up to his shoulder. Okay, sure. Then he repeats it on the other side.
Well, but she's like, can be braced against the door, though.
I know, but it's still like...
She's like a clothespin.
Yeah.
She's like... what is it? like a jackknife.
Yeah, he's folded me, supporting my entire weight in his hands.
Wow, he's out.
Where did this man come from? And then all I can think right now is, thank God I'm flexible and he is strong.
Yeah. Oh my God.
This is a whole pretzel situation.
It really, I don't think I realized. It didn't compute that both legs were up.
Yeah, both legs.
Why not?
Like, I understand both legs if, like, laying down. Like, that's easy.
Yeah.
Standing up.
He's very strong.
He's very strong.
I'm very strong. He wants her to eat more, actually.
More snacks.
He needs for her to be. Yes, it's really sweet.
Yeah.
But that is a great example of a very spicy scene. Just like, and then she's trying to straighten out her hair so that it doesn't look like they just fucked in the bathroom.
It doesn't work.
Nope, everybody caught on, but she's like sliding into the booth. All the guys are shooting each other knowing looks as we reach for our glasses, all but one, Henry, our underage baby. Henry says, "You should have been a minion like us," Henry says, looking my outfit up and down, total disinterest on his face. "You'd be much comfier right now, and there would be no risk of us seeing your ass."
I love him so much.
He's right. And next year, I'm wearing a minion onesie to the club. It's like, you got a point.
Henry,
Practical.
He's a neurodivergent baby.
He's clearly on the spectrum. As he says, total disinterest on his face.
Yes.
This is science. This is objective. It goes to show that the neurospicy among us get to have a good time too.
Yeah, and I mean, he's the one who's got all the, like, girly stuff in his room because he knows. He's like, oh, girls need stuff.
Supple.
Yeah.
So sweet.
Yes.
I can't. Anyway, I just thought that was cute.
All right, page 181. This is Anastasia talking about Aaron. "I definitely take the brunt of his bad moods, but I spend more time with him than anyone else. Sometimes it feels like everything's perfect, and suddenly it won't be, and I won't know what I did wrong." No.
Perhaps it's because you didn't do anything wrong.
You didn't do a single thing wrong.
This kind of instability is not, it didn't start with you, and it can't end with you.
Nope.
You didn't break it, so you can't fix it. Not to imply that people are broken, but if someone is implying that you made them feel or do something, anything, no. Each of the adults are responsible for their own emotional regulation.
That's right.
Their own inner world. That is not, no. Aaron Carlisle, came in the bar where they were, all dressed as minions, and he was beaten up. Mm-hmm. And he was saying that Nate did it.
Yeah, he lied. Clearly, obviously. We know Nate did not beat up Aaron. He wouldn't do that to Anastasia.
But also, like, nobody else knows that. And Anastasia doesn't know that. Like, what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to believe?
It's manipulation.
Yeah, and this is like the kind of stark, like, oh my God, that's clearly beyond the pale. Like, he's lying, and it's like, yes, but he's lying about lots of little things too. Mm-hmm. Like, so it's no wonder that then it can devolve into a big one.
I highlighted on page 196, "Worrying about Aaron is something that I'm used to, but you can only properly help someone who tells you what's wrong with them."
I highlighted that too.
You can support your friends because your friends need love and support.
They do.
But they have to use their words and tell you what's going on if they want you to help them.
Yeah, and that does require them looking within and seeing what's going on and then articulating it.
Perhaps I need some help with this. And then explaining that to the person you want to help you.
It is not anyone else's responsibility to read your mind.
Yeah.
It's really not. It is your responsibility to know your own mind and heart and know what's going on in there. Gotta know it. Even though it's not always fun.
No, it's terrible, actually.
Sometimes it's really uncomfortable, but it's your responsibility because it belongs to you, and then you gotta do something about it.
Yep.
Okay, it's so hard because Aaron is so convincing. Aaron is so convinced it was you, but I'm trusting my gut. Ooh, I love this. So she says, "I like you, Nathan." I said, peering up at his face. "It hurts me on multiple different levels that I'm now a person who likes a hockey player. But I do. It's so hard because Aaron is so convinced it was you who, beat him up. But I'm trusting my gut."
Trust your gut.
It's as if trusting your gut. Because they went 2 weeks where she was like not talking to him and just like, because she believed Aaron.
Well, yeah, why would he lie?
Yeah, why would he lie about that?
Weird.
Why would he lie unless it is true that he is trying to manipulate you and control you?
Yeah. All right, page 197. I highlighted this little section, very on brand for our podcast. I'm a very hands-on learner, but I'm afraid we don't have time to practice, Captain.
Oh, fuck. His hand tilted my head back, immediately capturing my mouth. This says, call me Captain again.
Breaking away from him, my eyes narrowed. I think that might be something we need to explore. I'm 100% for exploring it. I mean, in a psychological way.
Kinky. I like it. So good.
We're passionate about captains on this podcast.
I know. It's a little competence kink there.
Mm-hmm. Page 205. When you get out of this car, we're partners, and I'm not going to be able to touch you until January. Huh. If I'd known this morning would be the last time I could kiss you, I'd have done it better. One last kiss. This is the fun little twist in this book that you get so much good spice. Like, this is page 205. There's been several spicy scenes.
Yes.
And then Hannah Grace takes it away. And
just flips it all
she takes
around.
it right on away from us. And Nathan is going to be Anastasia's skating partner while Aaron recovers from being injured. And Anastasia says, hey, look, I cannot be fucking around with my skating partner. It's like, this is my career.
Yeah.
My whole job. So you can't distract me.
Yeah.
And he agrees that they're just going to be friends, I guess. Sure. Friends that have a lot of emotional intimacy.
It's so kind, and like he would do that. Like, this is what you do when somebody you care about is in distress. You prioritize their needs above yours. Well, his needs are met because he's benched, right?
Right.
It's not to the it's not to the denial of his own needs.
Right.
He's not like martyring himself. It's like, no, my needs are met. I would love to do this for you.
He still goes to every game because he's the captain of the team.
Exactly. And so he's like, I've got my stuff covered because I'm a fucking grown-up, and I can help you in this way. And you don't want me to distract you? Okay. We will be partners.
This will be business. We will work together.
Amazing. What trope is that? Just like off limits.
Yeah, it's
forbidden love.
A little off limits. Page 210. I highlighted, your body burns calories just by you being alive. So you need to fuel your body to live.
Yes.
Someone who burns as many calories as you do through skating and strength training needs to make sure your muscles recover. We're not doctors, but we are humans who exist.
We're people, and we've had to learn how to fuel our bodies as grown-ups. And
she responds to that with, I'm fine, which is very on brand for girlies with food problems.
Sure.
But yeah, you gotta eat what you need to eat. It is super dangerous to undereat.
It is.
It's dangerous to your physical and mental health.
Yeah, and he calls it out here. Bruising badly can be a sign of nutrient deficiency. Are you tired a lot, anxious, irritable for no reason?
Easily?
Changes to your menstrual cycle, and then Jesus Christ, Nate. But then she's like, but I'm on birth control that makes my period stop. And it's like, okay, so
maybe.
Yeah, maybe. And
also,
God, it's just so. And then he's like, are there hardly any carbs in this plan? There are no carbs. Did Ryan look at your meal plan? Her eyebrows furrowed together. What? No, why? Thinking back to the video call a month ago, I've been meaning to bring up what Ryan said, but hadn't had a chance after everything that's happened. Ryan said that Aaron was trying to control what you ate. So he's putting the pieces together, and he's like, oh no, this is bad.
Yeah, I highlighted right after that. Ignore Ryan. He'd make me eat KFC every night, which is not realistic. I don't have the superhuman metabolism. Aaron says he struggles to lift me sometimes, and it makes Ryan cranky. What the fuck? He said he struggles to lift you? If I don't stick to the plan, yeah, sometimes my weight fluctuates a little. Dragging my hand down my face has suppressed the anger brewing. The arena sharing situation doesn't mean only the rink. It also means the gin. I seen Aaron comfortably lift twice Anastasia's weight. He might not be a big guy, but he's strong. He's fucking unhinged, ass.
I don't want to argue about this because it's not your fault. It's not her fault. And she, no shame in having bought into this because it's really convincing. Erin, we said it earlier, Erin is playing on her weak spots here.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't want to, like, make it hard for him. And safety oriented, too.
Well,
like,
she relies
if
on
she's
him.
too heavy, like reportedly, allegedly, then, like, he can't lift it. Like, they'll both get hurt. Like, God, okay, I won't eat. And so I highlighted this somewhere, but this is also a tactic in cults, people. Red flag. Beep, beep.
I wrote red flag, red flag.
Yeah, this is like super red flaggy because if you can isolate people, if you can control what they eat and their ability to rest, So basically, you're depriving them of their basic needs. You're putting them into survival mode.
Yep.
So they cannot think clearly, and they will trust you, because then you can sweep in, the abusive person can sweep in to meet the needs that you have actually created the environment in which they cannot be met. And so cults, abusive relationships, any kind of abuse of relationship, power and oppression, this is like a classic move.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, if you're ever in a situation where someone is trying to control, man, woman, whoever,
Caregiver.
yeah, is trying to control what you put in your mouth, you need to get the fuck out. That is not a safe person at all.
Especially if you are aware that your body wants and needs something else, and they're saying, no, that's not good, you need to do this instead because of these arbitrary reasons. Because your body, it's not to get too, this is not an advice podcast, but this is the case with disordered eating patterns over time too. You lose the ability to tune into your body's wants and needs, and that's exactly what they want. The abusive person. They want you to lose the ability to tune in accurately and to respond appropriately to what your body wants and needs. And we need those cues. We need our emotions. We need our hunger. We need our tiredness. Like, our bodies are so wise. And anyone who turns you against your own body needs help. And that's not your fault.
Yep.
That's not your problem. Come call me. Email us at OKKPod.
Yeah, for real.
We'll give you some resources.
RKPodspod@gmail.com.
Yeah, if you're in relationships like this.
Yeah. I'm in a beautiful fitness community that is...
Yes.
It is based on,
empowerment.
Yeah, like being... Like having the body you have and also moving the body that you have. And, it's
moving
great.
it joyfully and hilariously.
And one of the girls who is there has been on this incredible fitness journey, and she's amazing.
Yes, so strong.
Yeah, and she posted on Instagram a couple weeks ago where she was talking about like how toxic it can be to be like on a fitness journey, and how people are only ever complimenting on how much smaller you're getting, and like
we don't want women to take up space.
Yeah, like how good you look. And she was like, now I am focused on being the strongest version of myself, not the smallest.
Beautiful.
I loved it. I was like, I'm gonna get that framed, like not the smallest version of yourself, the strongest.
The strongest.
She's like, I'm not ever going to be teeny tiny. Like, this is what my body looks like.
Yes.
I'm just getting stronger.
And the strength is what, and you need, like, to this point, you've got to take care of your body to be strong. Like, if we focus on appreciating our bodies for what they're able to do and moving in a way that helps us be strong to whatever capacity we have, we can then fuel our bodies appropriately. It's just, in terms of holistic wellness, right? In terms of mind, body, and soul wellness, it's really important that we treat our bodies with respect, and that we embrace the bodies that we do have, and that we celebrate them, and that we fuel them well. And that includes not assigning morality to food.
Right.
Because food is amoral.
Yeah. Food is neutral.
Food is neutral. food is
not good or bad.
Yeah. Listen to your body. You know what? I shared I'm neurospicy, and so I need a lot of like fat and protein. I respond really well to like way more protein than like other folks that I know are. Like, they don't need, I need like so much protein because my brain, and I've like, this is also backed by my own conversations with my own doctors, but it fuels the deficits within me.
Yes.
And it helps me be a person. Some folks need, maybe they need a higher intake of carbs, and that's what makes their body feel better. And it ebbs and flows throughout the month too. Sometimes I want lighter. Sometimes I want like richer, fuller foods, and I listen to that and I honor it.
Yes, very important. Yeah, like I need carbs and protein to be a human.
Yeah,
very important.
It's very important, people. It's directly correlated to your ability to be emotionally stable. Like, everyone, y'all, this is crucial. Y'all heard it here. We are not dietitians. We just have lived life.
These are our own experiences. We're sharing our own experience with, we're women who've existed in the world. We have disordered eating problems. Like,
yes, unfortunately, we live in our society. Yeah. And so, of course, this has been something we've worked through.
Yeah, lived experience, and we've learned what works for us, and so we're sharing that with you.
Let me tell you, another thing, just, to segue back to sex. Libido, if y'all are under eating, when our body's in survival mode, we don't want to have sex. We're trying to survive.
That's so true.
We're not trying to have sex or or enjoy our sexuality, express ourselves sexually. Whenever we're just trying to survive, and our body thinks we're in crisis.
Yes.
And so, you know, if that's y'all, maybe start meeting some of those basic needs.
Yeah, and that's a biological thing too. Like, sex is not for procreation.
Yeah,
it's not. However, there is a biological part of you that is like, if I can't fuel this body, how am I going to fuel a second
pregnant
human? So yeah, that also plays a big role in libido and ability to perform in the bedroom.
But when was anyone going to tell us this? Okay, like.
This is stuff we had to figure out in the streets.
We had to figure this out in the streets. And then, like, see the impact in the sheets. And then, like, just figure it out.
Oh, maybe pelvic floor issues are a result of religious trauma.
Maybe this is not a me like, I didn't cause this. My environment did. But, you know what? We didn't ask for these things. But it's our responsibility to navigate it well. So, yes, all that to say... Y'all, take care of yourselves. The payoffs are mind, body, and soul for the rest of your life. It is so important. We're just here for the happiness of the people.
That's right.
These are things we've learned. These are things we're here to share. These are things that Nate is helping Anastasia in, which is why, I mean, it, like, made my heart grow 3 sizes just to read about it.
It helps her come up with, like, meal plans, and they cook together, and he teaches her how to cook meals that have protein and fat and carbs and everything that she needs. And, like, through the process, she, like, starts gaining muscle and getting stronger and, like, being able to perform for longer periods of time, and it's great. And she's not irritable. Oh, it's so good. Yeah. We are whole people. All right, then page 251, their little sex hiatus lasts about 2.5 weeks, I would say. Maybe a little longer. I don't know exactly. But I just highlighted, wrap your arms around me and remember you asked for it. I said, okay. Yes, I did. Yes. Okay, good to know. Uh-huh. Yeah, the sex hiatus is really, there's the word dignitized again. Yes. Yes, she uses that word a lot. She is getting dignitized. Y'all, if there were ever a word to describe what goes on between Nathan and Anastasia, it is dignitization. All right, so I have 8,703 other highlighters section here. Beautiful. I don't need you to defend me, she whispers. Her sassy, stubborn nature is what I've come to expect, but sometimes she blinds me with her vulnerability. Aww. I know you don't, but you're worth defending. Every cut, bruise, every single pang of anger or frustration, it's all worth it. I'd throw my last punch defending you because you deserve to have someone to be that person for you, and there's no one more qualified for the job than me. Oh. And she just responds, kiss me. Oh, I wrote streets and sheets ? But then I take that back. I think this is okay. You sign off. I sign off on this. You do not need feedback on this because you are confident. No, yeah, that's some healthy. Yeah. I think the throwing of the hands, the fighting, the punching, that's hockey stuff. Yeah, and sometimes, like, obviously, we don't endorse fighting or violence on this podcast. And Nathan throws exactly one punch in this book, and it is at the end after Aaron forces Anastasia to kiss her. So it is warranted. Yes. Quite warranted. Accepted. We sign off on that one. We have given our stamp of approval. We love to hear it. I also highlighted, what you thinking about? The shower head in your bathroom. Yeah. My eyebrows raise. Why? High pressure is my favorite. The shower head scene, y'all, that's for the girlies. Strictly for the girlies. Yeah. Such good stuff. That is 2 scenes back to back. Like the sex and after their hiatus in the shower. Well, it had been a long hiatus. The shower back to back, baby. They had to catch up. Yeah, had to. Make up for lost time. Yeah. This is about Henry, our sweet angel. Oh my God. Aaron and his asshole friends showed up to a party at Nathan's house, and they caused a bunch of trouble, and they came, Nathan was going to go handle it because he handles things, and so he's kind of breaking it up. He's not engaging in the fight. Anastasia goes outside and sees Henry, sweet, precious Henry, fighting 3 other dudes. And Henry, when you're talking about him like he's little, he's not. He's huge. He's like taller than Nathan, like jacked.
But he's young. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, he's like, I think he's a sophomore because he's about to be like a junior in college. And so he was basically, I mean, obviously defending Anastasia's honor because Aaron comes in and they're all talking a bunch of shit about her. And so Anastasia's talking to Henry saying, I'd still like to know him. I mean, you took on 3 guys. It must have been bad. I didn't even know you knew how to fight. He looks at me like I've got 2 heads, face crunching. I'm a hockey player, I study art, and I have 2 moms. You think I've never had to hit someone before?
Oh,
forever a Henry stan. I wish she wrote his book next.
Oh my
Russ
God.
is fine, but I want Henry's book.
Yes, come on. I have 2 moms. You think I
never hit anybody before? I've got 2 moms.
I have to fight people all the time. Oh my God, that is beautiful. Maybe that's why he's so like thoughtful.
Yeah. And then we basically learn that Aaron basically slut shames her, which we already knew. He's done this to her face.
Yeah.
And then the really bad thing he said was that Anastasia is adopted. That's part of her story. Was that no one could actually really want her because not even her birth parents wanted her.
Which is
so that is the reason Henry was like, "Oh, we're gonna fucking fight."
Henry throws down. Yeah, not on his watch.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
All right, so this is a few pages later. She has made dinner for all the boys in the house. Really sweet.
Precious.
I finally plate up the food and make everyone sit at the table. This looks good, Stassi, Henry says. Not even one hint of something backhanded coming my way. That's a sign that her compliments have always been followed up with something critical, which is sad to me.
Oh, yeah.
It's like not even a hint of something backhanded coming after that compliment.
It was just pure.
Yeah.
Just like, this looks good. There doesn't need to be anything.
No qualifications.
Yeah, I think it really does a number on you when you've been in a relationship with people who...
Yeah, when you expect to be criticized for everything.
You expect for someone to not accept you and love you as you are.
Yeah. And then Nate says, I'm so proud of you. It smells amazing. And then Anastasia's inner monologue says, fuck you, calorie app.
Oh, yes.
Yes. I wrote, I'm not crying, you are.
Oh,
yeah.
Hannah Grace, thank you for this beautiful... For all the babies who are reading this, they get to appreciate, there's a lot of smut writers out here doing the Lord's work, giving us all kinds of content that we love.
All right, page 301. This is Nathan talking about Anastasia. She's taught me communicating doesn't mean everything is perfect. It doesn't mean we don't disagree. It means we work through the imperfect bits together. And if we don't agree, we at least know why the other feels this way. Even if it's not going to change our minds. We're still individuals, but we're individuals together. And I never knew relationships could be like this. Y'all?
Yeah, they can.
That's the magic right there.
As the turntables.
This is the only way coexisting in a long-term relationship can ever work.
Oh my God.
You have to be an individual. You're allowed to be an individual with your own thoughts and feelings.
Yeah.
You're not going to agree on everything ever.
Yeah.
That's common human experience. But you work through it.
We're individuals, but we're individuals together. I think that's kind of it is important that we maintain our individual identities. I think that's just something that makes relationships so much more fun too. Like, if you feel like you need to be enmeshed and blend together with your partner, like you're just one person, maybe explore that.
Yeah. It's like the episode of How I Met Your Mother where Lily and Marshall like merge into one blob of a human. We would love a body, like what is it? A mango body scrub.
We would love a mango body scrub.
Everything is a we.
Yes. And it's like you can do life together and be separate. Like it's
right.
I don't know. It's perhaps even a little more interesting and a little more better. A little more better for everything and everyone when you're able to.
It's a little spicy when things are different.
Exactly. We need people to be completely themselves.
That's right. All right, page 304. I highlighted. They are wrestling with when to say I love you to each other because they're both feeling that way. And so they're having a little tryst in somewhere. Can't know it. They do it a lot.
They sure do.
And his inner monologue is, don't tell her you love her during a blowjob, you fucking loser.
I mean...
Well, I just said it's probably best to wait to say I love you when the blood is fully back in every person's brain.
Yeah, maybe.
Let's not make declarations while in the moment.
yeah, in the moment, you're
feeling a lot of things.
Here on chapter 37, I have this overwhelming urge to tell him I love him every time he looks at me, and I don't know how to make it stop. Well, let me tell you how you make it stop.
You have to say it.
You just say it, and then you just get to say it however much and however often you
After
want.
you say it, then you can just keep saying it.
Yeah, that's the best part, because that's actually really fun.
Yeah, it's great to tell people how you feel.
It really is. It's funny how that works.
Okay, page 317. They're on the phone. They have locked themselves away in Nathan's fancy ski mansion, and he has run off to get her a surprise Christmas present. And so they're on the phone, and he's like, hey, I just got back to the house and I can't find you. I'm trying to make friends with a deer, but your call scared it off, she grumbles quietly. A deer? Where are you? I'm skating by the edge of the woods, she says, making my heart sink into my stomach. I was going to have a Snow White moment and everything. I feel sick as I start rushing back to the back of the house, heading toward the lake as quickly as my body will take me. Anastasia, it isn't safe. Carefully move away from there. But I don't think she hears me because the phone goes dead, and in the distance I hear a blood-curdling scream. If the dirty, dirty smut is the first thing we come to this book for, the second thing is probably this random and unnecessarily danger scene that we... Like, this gets resolved so quickly and easily and does not have... It doesn't have any, impact on the rest of the plot. It's just here.
But why not?
I know.
The plot.
I support it. I like danger.
We have so many. Yeah, she's so strong. She's so fucking strong, and she can swim. I've seen her swim with my own eyes. Mm-hmm. He's trying to debate. Oh my god, I couldn't even say how long it's been since I heard her scream. He's running all the way down to the water. It's just. He cares about her. Mm-hmm. He's gonna rescue her, but she is strong.
The point of this scene is caretaking.
Yes.
He gets her out of the water. He takes her into a lukewarm shower because this is a real life survival skill. Yeah. If someone does fall into icy cold water, do not blast them with super hot water. That will
do way more harm than good.
It will hurt them. So lukewarm water.
Yes, that is how it should be.
He takes care of her, and he tells he's like, you're doing such a good job. You're doing great, and he takes her to the hospital. It's all about caretaking.
It's so beautiful, and it's about showing that they really do love each other. Mm-hmm. Maybe a little better than a blowjob.
A little better than a blowjob.
Maybe this is a better time to talk about how you really feel. I'm not saying he's rescued her because she is strong, she can do all kinds of things, but he has caretook for her so many times when she has been injured, and it's really beautiful. Mm-hmm. Down here on a page in that chapter, I love you, Nathan. She clears her throat a few times, trying to clear the raw, gravelly sound. And this isn't some, trauma response. I'm in love with you, and that's what I thought when I fell through the ice.
Yeah.
How I've known for so long, and I haven't even told you, how I was going to die and you weren't going to know, and I was so mad at myself. I love you, and I'm sorry I didn't tell you when I realized. 3 times she said it, my brain still hasn't processed it.
I know.
I love you too. Sweet. I finally managed to see her out. I'm so fucking in love with you, Anastasia. Yeah, there's nothing quite like falling into almost your icy death for the clarity of the situation to just come to the surface of, who you love.
Page 324. Do you want to open the Christmas presents? We probably should do it before the end of the year is over. Neither of us have been feeling particularly festive, so all of our gifts are still in the suitcase. I thought you gave me my present already. Rolling my eyes, I climb off him. Coming inside of me is not a freaking Christmas present, Nathan. It makes me feel jolly when I do it. I'm sure it does.
Huh.
And I said, also, is this, are all men this easily pleased? Because I could have saved so much fucking money.
Yeah, truly. The investment in Trojan could have just been really solved. The stock in Trojan. Could we just not? Is simplicity, is happiness this easy to achieve?
Page 328. This is another spicy scene, but this one gets interrupted.
Oh my god.
So, sorry, this is not a full one. Apparently, New Year's Eve makes her happy, and now I'm lying naked on the kitchen island, and my hands are tied above my head with a Christmas ribbon.
Feels right.
This is Nathan that's tied up, by the way.
Ah!
Yes.
So she is not a
captain-
Girl Scout, but she can tie a knot.
Our captain is tied up. Mm-hmm. This scene gets interrupted by Nathan's sister, Sasha. His dad and his sister have shown up at the ski house.
Lodge?
They own a ski lodge. That's his dad's business, but this is like
okay.
their like vacation home.
Ski house.
Ski house.
Like a cabin?
Okay, yeah, sure. But it's a mansion. It's huge.
Oh my god. Because he's fancy.
He's rich.
Yeah.
He drives a Tesla.
It do be like that.
Nathan is rich. Money is hot.
Money is sexy.
This is page 330. They're going to go to dinner with Nathan's dad, who's an asshole. And she is wearing Nathan's actual Christmas present, which is she got herself a Titans jersey with Nathan's name on it. Hawkins.
Adorable.
It's really cute. And she's wearing it, and Nathan says, "Are you going to change?" And Anastasia responds, "Has your dad ever watched one of your games?" And I shake my head. Then no, I'm not changing. Okay, let's get this over with. And Nate, I love you.
Aww. Yeah, she is unafraid. She's unfazed.
She's like, has your dad ever supported you? No? All right, well, then I'm going to keep wearing your jersey because I support you.
Yeah. And it's a big ol' middle finger to dad.
That's right. Another middle finger to the dad. Sasha tries to order a chicken burger and fries, and dad says no. She'll have the chicken and cashew salad dressing on the side. Ugh.
Gross.
No, and then Sasha says, "Dad, I wanted..." "No, Sasha. I hate this, and every critical thought I've ever had about my parents weighs on me, crushing me with guilt, because my parents have never made me feel as shit as I do watching him interact with Sasha." The words come spilling out of my mouth before I can stop them. "The world isn't going to end if she eats a burger."
Ooh.
That's our girl. You tell him what's up.
Hello, I just met you, and the world isn't going to end if she eats a burger.
It's like, hey, I just got done with someone controlling what I eat, and I'm not going to let other people do that in my presence.
3 rounds. Everybody's having a burger.
3 burgers.
A burger for you, a burger for you.
Yeah, I highlighted, can we get 3 chicken burgers, Mark, and no salad needed?
Yeah. Get some crispy potatoes.
Page 342, they're on the plane back to LA, and Anastasia is reading her smut. And
this is the second time she mentioned smut because he says something about, I've seen the smut on your bookshelf.
Oh yeah, she reads smut. She's a smut girl.
Yes.
A fan of this podcast.
One of us.
And he asks her what she's reading, and she says it's a reverse Pretty Woman retelling. She tells me excitedly she's autistic and hires an escort to help her get better in bed. It's so good, and Stella is so funny and cute.
Oh, this is so sweet.
That's the love quotient.
Helen Huang.
Yeah.
Is that the author?
Yeah, Helen Huang, yeah.
Yes. Oh my God. That's an actual.
We're huge fans of that book.
Yes, it's so
that book
cute.
Is super spicy.
It is very spicy. She learns a lot about sex.
And then Nathan takes the book from her hands, examining the turquoise cover, flicking to a random page in the middle of the book. "You're reading porn in public? You're disgraceful." Yes, we are.
You know what?
We absolutely
are. His voice lowers, and she pulls me closer. It's not porn. It's a romance book.
It's a romance
that
novel.
happens to have a little bit of sex in it.
That's right. And then later on, he says, "Anything you read, I'll do to you when we get home." And he says, "I love a woman who enjoys reading." Hell yeah. Take notes.
Adorable.
All right, page 352. We are going to talk more about Aaron. So he is complaining and saying, "My dad had another affair, got this one pregnant, and mom finally kicked him out. She's our age, Stas. You know how sick that is? I'm going to have a sibling and their mom is someone I could have dated." Whew. And Anastasia says, "Your mom doesn't deserve to be treated like that. She never has, but I don't understand what this has to do with me." Exactly. And then Aaron says, "You haven't been around. I needed you. I needed your support, and you've been nowhere. You've been partying and hanging out with guys you don't even like." Excuse me, she loves him? Literally?
This is her
"I felt
boyfriend?
alone, and it made me so mad at you."
Oh.
Ooh.
It was your fault that I felt this way. No.
No, I wrote, "That belongs to Aaron."
That's one of my favorite phrases. God, I say it every day. That doesn't belong to me.
That's not mine.
That actually belongs to you. I shan't be carrying that.
It sucks about your mom. That really sucks.
One, you're entitled to feel however on God's green earth you feel.
It's not my fault that you feel that way.
Yeah, I shan't be carrying that because the emotions you feel in your heart, they belong to you. And they're not my fault. And I shouldn't be punished for them. And there's a way to, like, show empathy to people. Like, oh, that sucks. Oh, my God, I'm so sorry. That belongs to you. This belongs to me. Empathy, I empathize. And I also, I read a great description of, like, people are like, oh, he's my friend, like, or like, he's my skating partner, I should be there for him, he would be there for me. And I'm gonna butcher this, but it was some description of, like, if there's a friendship contract, there are lots of things in the contract, right? The minute that they start fucking around and breaking the contracts are no longer valid and binding whenever the other person has broke that thing up.
That's right.
And so you are no longer obligated. You need to align with your values. Like, don't go, it's not a free for all. Don't go manipulate them back, but, like, you are under no obligation to treat them. They've broken the contract.
Yeah.
Like, rules are now, the same rules don't apply. They're not playing by those rules. So you don't need to play by your rules of, but I've got to be there for him.
Nope.
Those don't apply anymore.
Nope.
So, yeah, this is a good little exchange.
I just highlighted on 367 because I love Lola so much. She is me. She's a musical theater bitch.
Yes.
She is playing Angelica Schuyler in the spring production of Hamilton. I remember that night. I just might regret that night for the rest of my days. That's right.
So good. Satisfied? I could listen to that every day. One of the best ones.
Anyway, I just wanted to flaunt our musical theater skills here on our Kinky Kindles podcast.
You're welcome.
Page 370. They are practicing. Aaron's healed up. They're practicing again. And he is grunting and groaning every time he has to pick her up because Anastasia has put on 12 pounds of pure muscle. Incredible.
Yes. Hey, I don't care if it wasn't muscle.
Yeah, either way.
Put on 12 pounds. Good
That's
for
right.
her.
Good for her.
But yeah, she's an athlete. She's put on 12 pounds of muscle.
She's strong. And so she says, are you struggling to lift me? Is that what those noises are about? Do you need to work out more? Exactly. That is his problem. You can't pick me up? That sounds like a you problem.
Beautiful placing of ownership. By the end of this, we have gotten things straightened back out. It seems as if you have a problem with lifting me, that doesn't mean that I need to starve myself.
I don't need to change. If you would like to get better at lifting me, then maybe you should change.
If you have a problem with my weight, that belongs to
that's yours.
That belongs to you.
That's yours. You get to keep that.
Yep. My body belongs to me, so I shall nourish it as I choose.
That's right.
Dear God, it's so healing.
Page 382, he leans back against the pillows, letting me trail my fingers across the smooth, warm planes of his stomach all the way down to his sweatpants. That are gray, obviously, because Nathan Hawkins is a man who is most definitely written by a woman. He sure is.
He really is. He's so
literally
good.
was written by Hannah
Grace. Hannah Grace, you are on the right track. God, so good.
Okay. All right. Why don't you sing along with me? We're going to sing a farewell song to feminism.
Okay.
for the next
Leaving
scene.
our bodies.
The feminism is going to leave our bodies and we're just going to sing. So long. Farewell. Auf Wiedersehen. Good night.
I hate to go, but you know what?
Bye.
The sun has gone to bed. The gray sweatpants have come out. And the feminism
has left.
Gotta go.
I grind against him, and when he reaches my mouth, I'm about ready to combust.
Yes.
I want you so badly. His laugh is dark, and his eyes are gleaming. Ask me nicely. Nathan, I moan impatiently. That's a good start. What else? Tell me what you want, baby.
Don't make me ask an English word.
Later on down the page, I highlighted, you've got to say the words. Don't make me say the words.
There's no blood up there.
I can't say the words.
It's not fair. No. Adorable.
For this whole scene, you might want to just say goodbye to every feminist thought you've ever had in your life.
This is Streets and Sheets, folks.
Streets
in the
and
streets,
sheets.
no, not okay. In the sheets, 100%. This is exactly how I'm going to need it to go.
An up against the wall kind of gal. He guides my legs up from his shoulders to his hips and tugs me up, carrying me over to my bedroom door, pressing me into it. Is this better? You can reach me now.
Yeah.
They were on the bed, and then
Sure.
he was like, we're going to move over here to the door.
So he arranged, to get that covered. Very good. Very good. Yeah, I mean, how many sex scenes? Smutty, spicy scenes?
I didn't count because there are so many. Like, there's a lot. It's at least...
a dozen.
I was going to say at least 10.
Yeah, it's all throughout, y'all. God, we're not even wrapped up, but whew.
Well, okay, I'll read my note first because it's probably not a funny quote from the book, but my note is pretty funny. Good. Page 389, I said, and here it is, Personality Disorders, the musical.
Nailed it.
So this is Nathan learning about Aaron lying about his injury. So this is another character from a different school, and he's saying, you got blamed for Aaron getting injured? Stassi is your girl? It was on Halloween. He showed up at the honeypot with a bruised wrist and said I'd pranked him, and he got hurt. Halloween, dude, he interrupts, holding up a hand. Aaron got hurt playing football with us. We were drinking and dicking about at the beach, having a bonfire. Davey tackled him and landed on his arm. I didn't know he blamed you for that. And then he says he didn't tell us any of that Nathan got blamed for it. Personality Disorder, the musical. This is...
Truth comes out.
Yeah, he got hurt, and then he saw an opportunity to manipulate someone else. Disgusting.
Unapologetically, of course. It's just the moral compass, y'all. It's a little different for folks with little personality disorder traits going on in there at whatever scale, full blown or not. The moral compass is different. The rules are different. It's a different world.
They live in the upside down.
They live in the upside down. They live in an alternate universe. And you, my dear friend, whomst ever listeneth, you get to decide. You may need help to get out, but you get to decide if you would like to continue to live in that world.
That's right.
Or if you would like to start the rest of your life.
Live in Hawkins, Indiana.
Live in Hawkins, Indiana. Let me tell you, it's great there.
Yeah, it's sunny. It's great.
There's video games. Arcade games.
All right, page 394. This is right after Aaron forcibly kisses her after they do their routine. This is for their competition. And he's saying, I don't understand what I've done. I don't get it. Stop crying. We need to find out where we've placed. I'm sorry. You don't understand what you've done? You kiss someone against their will. That is a fucking crime. Like,
yeah.
What do you mean you don't understand?
It's not okay.
That's...
There are rules.
Yeah. So he tries so hard to like manipulate her and be like, because they won the competition and they did so well and it was perfect. She nailed her lutz or whatever it was. I don't know anything about figure skating. It's pretty. I don't get it.
It's beautiful.
And he kissed her and he was like, this is amazing, and like tried to like coax her into this like excited high about it. Clearly did not work because she was really upset and she was crying. No.
Absolutely not. And you know who puts him in his place?
Nathan. He after he learns that Aaron lied about getting hurt.
Oh yeah. How good do you think that felt?
He makes it his priority to show up to the competition, to be there, just to make sure that she's okay. Yeah.
True colors come out.
And then after that happens, Anastasia says that she's going to go solo. She's going to separate herself from him. She's going to be a solo skater. Great.
Gorgeous.
And then Aaron says, you can't go solo. Don't fucking do this to me, Anastasia. After everything I've done for you, for fuck's sake. Stop being such a stubborn bitch. You're not even good enough to compete alone. Oh my God. Oh my fucking God. You're ruining my life.
Yeah.
That is borderline.
Some BPD shit.
That is some BPD shit.
Absolutely not.
Don't ever let anyone say the words after everything I've done for you to you.
No, because I would wager you didn't ask for those things in the first place.
After all these things I've done for you that you did not ask me to do.
God, crazy ex-girlfriend. Yeah, we have a real situation here of a magical, what is it? It's the fight against good and evil. We've got a hero and we've got a villain. It's so good.
Yeah. So good. Okay, this is my last note.
Beautiful.
And it's very important because, so obviously Anastasia's moving out of, so she does live with Aaron, by the way. She, Lola, and Aaron all share an apartment. So clearly she's going to move out because he's a bad person.
Because he's no good.
He's bad. And so she, like, after the forced kiss happens, it's alluded that Nathan calls all the hockey team and says, "You're gonna move Anastasia's shit out of that house immediately." So when they get home, it's filled with hockey players that are moving shit. It's incredible. And so it says, "I open the door and Russ is standing in my living room looking like a deer in the headlights holding a box labeled smut in huge letters."
Yes.
If I ever move out of my house, I'm going to have a box labeled smut.
The Kindle is deceitful. You could not, if these were physical books, there would be a lot.
That's right.
Oh.
Whew, this is a long episode. We'll have to go rapid fire.
Well, what do we think? Broadly, let's summarize.
So Nathan, Streets and Sheets,
God.
I think he's 5 across the board.
I think he's 5 across the board. This is a real contender with Brendan.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to really search my soul on this, but I think he's like, I think it's a tie. Like, this is like a solid guy. Character, sheets, all of it. I'm so, maybe even a little more emotionally well-adjusted than Brendan, obviously. Or maybe, potentially. I'm not here to start any war. Oh, that's true.
He's younger, but that doesn't really matter. But
yeah, maturity matters.
But like, I think they both grow a lot in this book together.
Exactly. Oh, they grow a lot together. Mm-hmm. Anastasia, we love her.
She's a badass.
And
she's
it goes
strong.
to show strong,
and
talented people.
She feels like a real person, which I really appreciate.
I know.
Because sometimes they don't really...
Exactly.
It seems unrealistic, but this feels like this is a real person with real problems.
She's a real person with real problems, and she navigates them beautifully. Mm-hmm. It goes to show that, like, you can be strong, but still, like, need help to get out of some tricky situations. But then you know what? She rescued herself.
That's right.
She got herself through that. 5 stars.
5 stars.
Spice was incredible. Plot was really good.
Yeah. So,
lots of characters, but hopefully that's because this is going to go somewhere.
Yeah. This is a solid 5 out of 5 Spice, and there is a story here, and we definitely care about this story.
We were invested.
Yeah.
We wanted Aaron to be dead.
This is the kind of like when we did a Hemp One Summer, I said this is the smut that we like. It has a beautiful story. It's got great smut. This is in that same category of incredible story. Like, follows a plot all the way through, with real relationship tension and like real problems
and
that all get resolved.
Is magically also good. How is it possible?
Good. The dirty talk, the tension, like
variety,
a lot of variety.
Hannah Grace, you are a miracle worker. Yes, round of applause. Can we send thank you notes to the authors?
Dear Hannah Grace,
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you to our listeners for joining us on this fun ride.
We love y'all
we
so
hope
much.
you read Icebreaker if it sounds like it's up your alley.
Yes, please share this episode with your friends. This is one of like my favorite books that I've read in the last couple years.
Gosh, it's a good one.
So good.
I see why now. Truly. All right, y'all. If you have any questions, comments, follow-ups, email us at OKKPod.
OurKinkyKindlesPod at Gmail. Spell it out.
OurKinkyKindlesPod
at gmail.com.
And then our TikTok. Follow us on BookTok.
Yes, follow us on TikTok at OKKPod. That's confusing, I know.
No, not really. People,
y'all are smart. You'll figure it out.
This is the age of the internet. They'll straighten it out. But yes, follow up next week. We are thinking of Akama.
Yeah, I think we're going to try to do A Court of Mist and Fury next week. That's kind of what's on the docket.
TBD. But
and then the week after, we're going to do Happy Place.
Yes.
So you got a couple books lined up for you if you want to read.
Yeah, we're here for y'all if you want to read along at home.
And we've got some special episodes coming. We're going to do some quick and dirties on the first 2 seasons of Bridgerton.
Yes.
We want to keep y'all,
There's some variety in here.
Yeah.
Smut comes in all shapes and sizes.
Yes, and it is smut.
It is. Audiovisual smut.
That's right. All right. And as always, until next time, don't try to do the splits during intercourse, but if you do, let us know how it goes. We're interested.
Please keep us posted.
Bye.